Welcome back, everyone.
Great countdown.
Sorry. That worked out. We did fine.
Huh? We're here. What?
Welcome back, everyone, to the Abomination Vaults on the Undeniably Good Time Network. We join our heroes, reunited at last.
Yes! All 7 of us.
Well,
I guess if you count the Spork the cat.
No,
and
we got our 2 little new friends.
I've missed you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, the monsters in the room with you.
They're not monsters. They're friendly gentlemen.
Well, the real question then is, how is the audience going to tell the friendly gentlemen apart from the party members? Impossible, I say, unless we go around the table and introduce ourselves and who we are, what we look like, and where we all happen to be. We'll start over here with Corwin.
I'm in the middle of writing, making sure I got some items for my good friend Yin.
You doing some reading and arithmetic while you're at it?
Yeah, trying to. I mean, you gotta have your 4 R's.
There you go.
I don't know what the 4th one is. I only got through the first 3.
Yeah, if you
but
don't
I'm
stay in
Corwin.
school.
Investigator fella, just Otari lumber surveyor, going out here to find some lost friends and, well, also some lost not quite friends for a let's call her a business associate of mine.
I'm Bobby. I play Calblum. Fimbly Bottom.
He's got to make sure of his own last
I have to read
name.
it. Hold on.
It's Fimbly.
He doesn't go
Bottom.
by his government name.
That's right. That's right. You can't name the government. He is a flat Earth believing umbral gnome.
I thought you were
Flat
just going to say a
Galarian,
flat
sir?
Earth gnome.
Yeah.
Flat Galarian?
I was going there.
Tianjia is not real.
That's right. Yeah. I am currently, I guess,
It's not on the
under
map.
some kind of spell.
Yes, currently you're floating in a column of orange light, having just been discovered by your friends who have been searching for you ever since you mysteriously vanished.
It makes sense that the 2
Excellent.
people who thought they knew everything are the ones that got kidnapped.
That's
They
why
knew too much.
That's why they kidnapped us kids.
exactly.
Probably because we're the most valuable.
That's right. Our brains have the most information.
And I'm Derp, and I play a nearly 7-foot-tall great gnoll, shining paladin of Sarenrae, with a big old warhammer.
Bestest boy.
Specifically a maul, called the Pious Puppy.
Wait, your mall is called the Pious Puppy?
No, I am the Pious
Okay.
Puppy.
Oh, I thought
I was going off
literally
of- I
thought you
that was
renamed the
why
ball.
you named it.
No,
I was
that
like,
going
wow,
off of what he
I
said.
like
Got
it.
it, okay.
I like it. Hello, I'm Bryn. I'm over here playing Nil, a dwarf druid. I've got stars in my eyes for excellent adventure filled with excellent monsters that I am ready to investigate. I've got my trusty team here to lead us down the correct path of all excellent information. None of it's going to be, it's all accurate, probably.
100%.
100%.
Currently also floating inside a column of orange light.
Yep. I mean, it's a pretty cool experience overall.
It's not actually. It feels pretty rotten, but we'll get to that.
That's also pretty. I mean, that's a unique experience that'll be
Rot
good
is
for the
part
book.
of nature.
Exactly. And I've got a cool staff that is painstakingly cared for. Carvings all throughout, kind of grotesque creatures. Just happy to be here.
Just having a great old
Just having
time.
a great time.
Vibing.
Ultimok, Maka Thorngard. I am a thaumaturge, and everything you just said is true. And whether it's true or not, if I believe it hard enough, I'll make it hit harder.
That's how thaumaturges work.
I have my sword here, Naji. Naji is here to be smarter than I am in every possible way and know everything and mostly just drain blood out of everything I poke him in.
That's he's good at it.
And yes, we're here, and those are my friends. They're floating there. I think we should go get them down.
Well, first things we have is redeemed hero point from Mr. Jake the Impaler to Derp to make it more symmetrical.
Excellent.
Every time you pick up that sword, it makes me mildly terrifying because it gets closer and closer to the light every time.
It's gonna be
It's not
fine.
like we have a studio around us. It's fine. We can get some sandbags. We'll be
Guys,
fine.
I have total awareness of where my sword is at all times.
Yeah, okay.
Make way.
Yes,
Coming
but your
through.
eyes are my fear.
So, first off, though, let us recap with our newly reunited adventurers. So, first to disappear, we will remember, was Nil. Nil, what happened is we had killed the Slurk outside of Gauntlet Keep, and Nil was very interested in harvesting the Slurk for its tusks and other amusing innards. Nil being very curiously, perhaps a bit disturbingly interested in these sorts of things. The rest of you had kind of reconvened up in the guardhouse, leaving Nil on her own on the banks of the moat, trying to butcher parts out of the slurk, wherein, with a sudden flash of orange light, it felt as though a many-fingered hand had grabbed you from nowhere. And Nil's memories of this event kind of fade away, but the rest of you recall seeing her being carried away by an unseen force, although Mocker got a bit more glimpse of what might have been happening. The vaguest many-fingered hand clasped around Nil's limp form as she was carried away over the rooftops somewhere deep into Gauntlet Keep.
They took the precious.
The many-fingered hand as opposed to the singularly fingered hand. Like
Well,
a tentacle.
more than normal fingered hands,
Ah,
we'll
yeah,
call
there
it
we go.
that.
Above
It's like
average
a spider
fingers.
hand.
Yes, yeah. And Calbum, the last time the party saw you, you were safely in the back
Right,
behind
Calvin
the...
was doing his job, staying out of that scary
Staying
room.
out of that scary room where that haunt consisted of the blood of Belcora that was throwing beams of evil negative energy at your party members. Your party members had defeated the haunt, and just as you were about to join them, the door slammed in your face, separating you from the party.
Inconvenient.
Very inconvenient, and so isolated, you felt the malevolent presence of Gauntlet fall upon you, and a similar grip took over you, blanking out your memories, but carrying you away, vague remembrances, before you two found yourselves ensorcelled in this column of orange light, floating in an unfamiliar shrine of some sort. Lots of white marble, but very damp, lots of condensation on the walls. And floating in these columns of orange light, you just felt almost as though you had a slow sapping of your strength. You are able to, with focus on your magics, recitation of rituals, chanting of spells, able to hold this force at bay in an attempt to save yourself and keep yourself from being rotted away soul first. However, time drew short, and the sun set, and the sun rose again with no sign of your companions, and you weren't sure how much longer you could hold out. Haggard and weary, you may have consigned yourselves to oblivion before a door at the far end of the room were kicked open, and in came your missing companions, who turn and stare at you, shocked. However, momentary relief is replaced with grave concern as corpses in this room glow with blue light and rise. One of them by the door that the party came in, and another by the altar directly in front of you. The sickly blue light emanating from their eyes and mouths as they turn their baleful gaze on the intruders. And that is what you all know.
Also, Derp got his Nimbleoth check before we broke last week.
Yeah.
We didn't get a
'cause I
name,
was
but we didn't get a
recalling-
chance to hear that.
Indeed. You're looking about the room. You recall, as I recall, you passed a religion check to kind of identify this.
I got Nimbleoth the name.
You got Nimbleoth the name, and what you remember from your teachings is Nimbleoth the name is refers to her cult and her teachings, and her any contact with her is straight anathema to Saren Ray. It's not even like, oh, this is an evil cult, this is what they believe, you have to watch out for their word. It's like, you see them, you break it, you burn it, and you do not tell anyone. If you find a book, you destroy it, and if you can't destroy it, you bring it back to your superiors to go and put it away, and you do not read it, which works great for Derp.
Not even a problem for me.
Because
Imagine being able
Drevin
to
can't read because he's a dog. But-
Colorblind, I can't see the letter.
exactly.
That's awkward.
That's what I said in school too. They didn't believe me.
But that's what you know. This isn't like, oh, this is a cult of Rovagug. These people are crazy and want the world to explode. They didn't even give you that. It's, do not learn anything about this, destroy it, and bring that book. If you can't break it, bring it back to us so we can quarantine it.
This is literally theocracy wars. These two churches hate each other.
You didn't get a hatred from this. It's more like, this is important and this is dangerous, is kind of where you came from. You're not really sure what the cult of Nimbleoth thinks about Saren Ray. You've never talked to anybody from
Oh,
Fair
you
enough.
work for the government.
He works for the church.
They don't want you to know specific things, so they don't tell you.
He
I
works
work for the church.
Oh my god.
That's worse.
Which is similar but different.
Oh, dude, we're gonna have so much fun.
I work for the government.
You work for the man.
I work
for the
directly
Pope.
for the mayor.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be fun.
I
Okay.
work for the Pope. He works for the government.
He lives in a hole in the woods to be
Yeah.
off the
He
grid.
lives in a hole.
This is great. It's a
We
good time.
do run the gamut here at UGT.
We do indeed. And, on that note, as you kind of realize this, that's about the time when these corpses stood up with this glowing blue light emanating from their faces. And why don't you guys all give me some initiative, because it looks like they do not mean you well.
Including Bryn and I?
Including the both of you.
Woo!
Natural 20.
Nice.
You forget to grab your
I
trackers.
just hate him.
Dart off.
Did I what?
You grab your trackers. Okay. I didn't remember seeing him over there.
Who do you think? I am a professional.
You are a professional, Nick.
I'm a professional. Alrighty. So, go ahead. We'll go around the table. What do we got?
14, because that's 3 on the die.
16 on the die for a 22. Yes, I know how to do math. 22.
You gotta practice. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we're out of practice here.
What's Derp get with his 20?
25.
Okay.
Negative
I have
wisdom.
A negative
That's
wisdom.
right. That's right. He's a dog.
I'm
Dogs
colorblind. I
are
can't see
pretty wise.
initiative.
Also 25.
Also 25. Which one wants to go first?
Derp can go first.
Sounds good to me.
And what's Mocker got?
11 on the die for 17, unless somebody was scouting.
I was
We
recalling.
didn't have a chance, really.
Normally-
Yeah, I don't think we had a chance to, yeah.
Normally, I would be scouting. I was recalling knowledge.
Alrighty, so...
I was scouting. It was me. I was doing it.
Yeah. I saw the skeletons,
I've
so
been
they
scouting
know.
here the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
I've been
yeah.
scouting. I know this room like the back of my hand.
Lots of time. All right, and so, Drevin, what are you going to do? By the way, we have a two-parter.
Ooh.
I am going to make my free recall knowledge check
Whoa.
Wait, didn't you just do that?
against the monsters.
Oh, I see. These are different things.
Stay.
Well, because
Hang on.
I was
I think you
figuring
just
out
put the 1 up.
I just
Oh.
put the one
That-
on down here.
Oh.
Okay.
There we go.
Nice.
What the dog doing?
Had to make my own cards for these. They're not in the box.
Yeah.
So what would you like to roll?
Well, let's see here. Do you have Wisp lore?
Well, conveniently, I do.
Boy, howdy! How's about it?
What?
What's your modifier for your Wisp lore?
+5.
+5. Beautiful. Alrighty, so you look at these things, and at first your brain goes to this is an
moving
undead.
undead,
This is an undead zombie. But you see this sickly blue light come out of its face, and it's very reminiscent of the light of Gauntlight. And it's you get a very Wisp type of feel from this. Unfortunately, calling up and trying to figure out what the specific deal is with this, just looking at it right now with it popping up in your face, details have fled your mind. But maybe after you interact with it for a little bit, you'll be able to learn and get enough exposure to it to try again.
Well, you know what that means. I'm going to step over to the one in the secret doorway. And I'm going to shove it
Okay.
using the maul.
Okay, sounds good. Give it a shot.
More into the door.
Try to plow this.
And that will be a 17.
A 17, eh?
B.
Well, that's going to be a normal success. You're going to push it back 5 feet into the office.
I will follow and then close the door.
Okay, you push your way in and close the door behind you.
No, the one that I pushed it through. I'm going to close that one.
So you're not going to follow it.
I'm stepping in to close because it looks like there's 2 doors. It looks like there's a door on both sides.
Yeah, so that's a secret door because there's a panel on both sides to close it. You can close
Oh,
the
well then,
panel
yeah,
that
I'll just
you're
shove it
on.
through and then close the secret door.
Okay, you kind of try to shoulder it shut, and it kind of... You kind of crammed it. It's not, like, locked. It's like a secret door, and there's, like, a lot of rubble and crap here. But
I
you
don't
can
trust
probably
that
hold
thing
it.
to be smart enough to open a door.
Okay.
I don't know.
You
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, it's true.
You know what?
He
Any
categorically
turns it
doesn't.
has to spend opening the door, or turns it spends not hitting him.
That's right. Yep.
So you shoved, and
Shove,
you close the door to interact.
shove.
You got one left?
Step,
He stepped.
close door.
Yes. All right, Nil. So you have been relying on your rituals here, but once these creatures rise up the force that's been pressing down on you intensifies. And this type of it's almost as though something was sort of languidly chewing on you this entire time, and then once activity happened, it starts gnawing.
Gigi was biting you, and now it's a full
Now it's like,
Rottweiler.
okay.
And by focusing on your magical training, you've been able to recite rituals and use your spell knowledge to try to ward off these attacks, and it's coming hard and fast right now. So the first thing that you're going to have to do is make a spell tradition roll to try to get your rituals in point. Nature's probably the best thing for you, but you could default to Arcana or Occultism if you want. It will work better if you can cast spells of the tradition, though.
I would like to do nature.
No problem.
Okay.
Roll me a nature check.
Sweet. Ooh, not very good. That was just a 3 on the die, so that's a 10 total.
10 total.
I have a great initiative, though.
You feel...
Give her credit where credit's
don't
due.
forget that those are rerolls if you want to use
Yeah,
them.
you have hero points.
Oh, I guess that's true. Well, no. This is the first action. First action.
So you, this increase in the force catches you entirely off guard, and your breath seems to almost catch in your throat, almost as though your breath is being pulled out of you. But it's not. It is something far more personal and far more vital to you. You are doomed 1.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
That's fun. I can't heal that.
That's fine. I am doomed one all the time.
You have 2 other actions that you can take. You
Okay.
cannot try to fight it off again, but
Okay.
and you are immobilized, but you can look around and you can still try to maybe shout something or speak or take any mental actions you want.
Okay. Any mental actions I want is what you're saying?
Yeah, so recalling knowledge, for example, or if you
Oh.
have some sorts of things that are like otherwise
Some
deleted.
spells, you just have to think about them.
The shield spell, I think, is.
That's
That's,
verbal.
Verbal.
so-
Yeah. Okay, well, I
Oh, we
can
have
also make a
another-
knowledge
We have
check.
another hero point from Saiyan Fox time for Dreven, because my party saved a paladin from haunting chapel for probably eternally, and Saren Ray says we're cool for that.
Sweet. I
right.
like it.
It's legit. Pass it around.
Take one down, pass it around.
We did.
What does it say?
This one says, run and shoot. Remembering to breathe is the hard part.
That's what
You shoot
Nil's
a
running
lot.
into right now.
Yeah. Okay, well, I am going to study this for all of the, like, crushing... I'm still going to be interested in what these things are. But that's kind of, I mean, this is what
It's
we're looking
pulling your
for
soul
right
out
here.
through your nose, but it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, though. Someone's doing an excellent job keeping these skeletons in tip-top shape. So I am going to roll a like a recall knowledge or something.
Sure, if you want. What you want to recall knowledge about? Keep in mind, don't feel like you have to. If you just want to float there and hurt, you can do that.
I love wallowing in pain, but no. I want to do a recall knowledge. I want to see. That's exactly what I'm gonna see whether what good condition these bones are in. Do these look like recent skeletons? Is this something that like?
Oh, sure. Not even going to make you roll anything for it.
Okay.
So you see a couple. So these skeletons, looking around, there's 2 different types of skeletons. There's one that's right in front of the altar that stood
Right.
up,
Right.
and this is a completely skeletalized corpse that's wearing these tattered black robes. And you've had literally nothing to do but float here and look around the room.
Right.
So you've become pretty familiar with these. And you are a dwarf, so the darkness didn't bother you. You were
Right.
able to pretty much make out the details. You can see that these robes have a, not really quite insignia on the back of them, but they have these, what appear to be 7 holes in them that aren't just punched in the fabric, but are sewn in. This is stylistically designed to have 7 holes on the back. They appear to be in a pseudo-random type of arrangement, but looking over your shoulder behind you, you can see another skeletal corpse out of sight from the party right now that is wearing the same thing and has the same pattern robe on. Apparently, these appear to be cultists that worshipped here died here, and their bodies remained. The body on the far end, before Drevin shoved it out of the door, appears to have the garb of an adventurer on it, a treasure seeker who was apparently tossing the ruins for something interesting, came into this room, and you had a good look at it. It was on its side, dying, clawing at the secret door, which it had managed to partially pry open, but then it died right there. Apparently, it was killed trying to escape this room, possibly a victim of the very creatures that were here right now.
So I'm gonna, for looking at the two near me, I'm gonna be like, well, maybe they found a way to live beyond. Maybe they found a way. And then I'll look at the other one with the adventuring garb. Like, well, maybe not. Maybe something's just like possessing them or something.
Yeah, that's probably more like they're probably just getting possessed.
They must have ascended into new. Oh nope, that's a dead body.
No, that's just a rando. Okay. I was worried about that. And that's my turn.
And that's your turn. All right. So we're going to come over here, and the one that's currently out of line of sight, I'm going to go ahead and make some rolls for it. You close this door, which is just a secret panel, right? This thing isn't designed to fortify an area. This is designed to hide the fact that there's a doorway here. It shudders in its frame and splinters, and this adventurer's body, as a fist literally punches through the secret panel, breaking into the room, and you can see, you're used to someone throwing a punch or someone trying to shoulder a door open. There is, a certain tension in your body. There's a stance to your body that you do to protect yourself while you're trying to break the door down. This thing looks like almost some giant hand is picking up this corpse and just slamming it into the panel to break its way in here.
It's almost as good at breaking through doors as I am.
You hear a snapping, actually, as the collarbone of the corpse dislocates from forcing its way in, but it does. And it breaks its way through that door to come within reach of you. And it lunges forward with its jaws, actually, to try to latch onto you with a 19 to hit.
And as it comes through, I haven't had time to really get my maul out from between us, and it's going to bite down on the head of that hammer. Coming close to me, but not quite getting there.
And it's with a kind of a sickening scrape, the teeth pull off of it.
I felt it in my face. I hate it.
You ever
Been to
chew
the
on,
dentist recently?
I hate stop it. No.
you ever chew on tinfoil?
It's the worst.
No, I don't chew
my
on
God.
tinfoil. Thank you very much.
It's the worst.
I go to the
great
dentist if I
sensation.
want cavities plugged. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
No,
my God. That
Chewing
was so
on
visceral.
tinfoil for some reason does something really weird with your teeth.
Yeah,
Like,
it puts holes in them.
Stop! Don't like it.
God.
I'm so sorry, Bobby. Your face
okay.
is so flushed
okay.
right now.
That was just the worst.
We sell Strange Aeons as the horror campaign. This is the horror campaign just on descriptions.
Just
Oh,
on
man.
descriptions. And as this thing pulls its teeth away, almost puppet-like, its arm will swing in a wild clawing motion at you, skittering off of your armor.
The corpse has the raising quality too.
Apparently, with its teeth.
It has an emotional raising quality.
Calbum,
Okay, so what can I do? I'm
Well,
sorry. I have awareness of myself. Is that
you
true?
have awareness of yourself. You've been kind of floating here. You're not sure exactly how you got here, but you remember being accosted by something.
This is familiar to me. I end up in weird places all the time. I
And
get
you-
kidnapped by the government all the time.
There you go.
I'm being experimented on
And
by the aliens.
You've been floating in
Okay.
this. You've been floating in this orange light this whole time, and you've been feeling your strength being slowly sapped away from
Which is
you
very
over
bad,
the
'cause I don't
many,
have very
many
much.
hours. You don't really.
I'm very weak.
However, you've been able to hold off the worst of it by reciting rituals, chanting spells, tracing diagrams in the air, using your magical knowledge to try to counteract the worst of this.
Right.
And so far, you've been able to keep it off. But once these corpses rise up, the energy just compounds, and all of a sudden, you feel as though your breath, your very soul, your very life is being ripped out of your body. You can try to use your own knowledge of the traditions that you know to try to hold this energy at bay. You can use it. You basically have to make me a magical traditions check. It could be Arcana, Religion, Nature, or Occultism. The fact that you cast with Arcana means it'll be easier for you.
Let's do that. Did I see Nil react to their failed save, essentially? Did I see a difference in how they're behaving now?
You certainly, she looks agitated, but that's about all you're able to notice, really. But before we go, we have Mr. Jake the Impaler with a hero point for Corwin. Right here, we can pass that over.
All right, I'm gonna roll Arcana and see if I can.
Oh wait,
maybe not.
And then we have another Mr. Jake the Impaler hero point for Altamok. Goodness
Ooh,
gracious!
thank you.
Heck yeah, thank you.
Hold the line. Steady. Steady.
Shake it off. The fire went out, the poison stopped burning through me, and I finally got the bard's tune out of my head. See? Shook it off.
I'm sure whatever that wasn't important.
That's fine.
I shook it off. It's fine.
And then a villain point from Com 4. Everyone gets 2,
Kevin, how dare
including
you.
the GM.
Kevin, you know what GMs use those for. They kill people.
Evil.
Evil.
Okay,
That kills
Okay,
people.
roll.
I'm gonna roll this dice.
Go on, do it. Was it good?
I'm gonna use this hero point from, I think it's saying the Fox.
Probably.
Saying the fox.
And roll that again. Yeah, it's better.
He had the second dice in hand. I'm gonna re-roll
very
this.
prepared
He
for that.
solders
All right, so that's a 13 on the die plus 8, which, right? 8. I can do math. Yes,
21.
that's 21.
21. With a quick tracing of a hexagram in the air, you manage to blunt the worst of this, and nothing bad. And you do not feel your soul pull out any faster.
But I don't get any worse, which is the goal.
Exactly.
All right.
You don't get any worse, but you can feel this energy ramping up.
And I can't speak. Is that true?
You can try to shout something, but it's way too muffled. But you can try. You can try to. You actually no. You can talk. You're immobilized.
Got it. So if I only have verbal components, which shield is a verbal component.
Yep.
I am going to cast shield on myself and finish my turn.
Please don't kill me.
No dying, please. No dying.
The creature at the far end will look at the party ahead and charge down the hall, flailing its arms as it goes in a sort of a wild sweeping motion. Again, the entire torso kind of flailing in these almost comically aggressive swings as it comes up. And it's going to advance on Altamok with 2 large slashes coming down at you. Okay, for a 29.
You'll take 3 less damage from this.
That will crit me.
Oh,
But I will
dokey.
take 3 less damage, so that's something.
That is definitely something. That's not nothing. I also rolled really low. That's a 1, right? That is totally a 1. All right, so that's going to be -3, 11 slashing damage.
That was a
okay.
horrendously low.
That
Wow.
was already 1 on
Okay.
the die is what that was.
Altamok will have a cut open up down his front, and you'll see him kind of recoil back.
And then we
he kinda
have
opens up his shirt, just show off his abs for a second.
second attack is going to go quite wild and come nowhere near you.
Well, we do have only the faces coming out of the darkness where the character are. We are going to have Bryn specifically do one of just Altamok's abs
Just
coming
the
out
abs.
of the dark.
Yeah, just the abs.
Yeah, just the abs. They're so good. I work so hard.
You work so hard on them.
So Altamok will kind of bite through the pain for a second and attempt to ascertain what these things are. He saw that Dreven seemed to have a really negative reaction toward them, but that just doesn't mean much to him because Saren Ray hates a lot of things.
Sarah's getting so dunked on.
That's like the opposite of Saren Ray.
She's the
Saren Ray
forgiveness
hates
goddess.
specifically one thing, and that's undead.
Yeah.
And
These.
liars, actually.
And
2
liars,
things.
and that's 2 things. So I'll go
And these
ahead
people.
and
and the unrepentant.
Another thing. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
okay.
She is the
But
goddess of you
aside
get
from
one.
the undead, the liars, and the unrepentant, what has Saren Ray done for
And
us?
cilantro, surprisingly.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So apart from,
I'm going to go ahead and try to exploit vulnerability on this thing.
go right ahead. Give me your esoteric lore check.
Oh, it's going to be esoteric.
She's actually fine with cilantro, just Desna doesn't like it.
It's
so
gonna
she
be a
kinda
12.
sides
It's
with
a
her.
it's a genetic
12.
thing. She can't taste
A
it.
12 is a normal failure.
That's what we
not
like to
quite
hear.
critical. Not
You know
quite
what
critical.
they say? To be a Sarenite is to be Saren right.
Oh my god.
See, this is the religious indoctrination.
You should take damage for that.
Would you like to know more?
So Nick gets another villain point.
Template.
That's too bad.
So Altamont gets out his smelling salts to recover from that joke.
Yep.
So he'll take a look at this thing. So I get a personal antithesis.
Personal antithesis. You don't get to know anything specific about them.
So I get the feeling that these things don't like the light of good. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna brandish the Serenite prayer and I'm gonna start reciting it.
What was the prayer again? He just said it.
Sus.
Sus. That thing be sus. Get off the bus. You know, the things that dogs say.
Yeah.
I'm colorblind.
All right, so
read.
the corpse is enraged now from that terrible,
Yeah.
terrible
Nice.
prayer.
GM adds the elite template mid-fight.
So
Did I say I rolled min on that crit? Because
I'm pretty sure you said you rolled like a 12.
that's what I thought. 12, yeah.
So Najee, so brandishing the prayer, he'll go ahead and swing down with Najee and attempt to cut into this thing.
Najee is going to be screaming his usual battle cry.
That's going to be a nat 1. We don't like that. We don't play those games here. So I'm going to hand you this,
You can just keep it over there in a pile. We'll collect them later.
Oh yeah.
and we're going to go ahead and re-roll that.
Yeah.
Hero
no,
points are
natural one.
flowing. We're making them. They're sweating.
Hey, if you use them, you get them.
That's right.
That is much nicer. That is a full 10-point improvement, in
It's
fact.
much better.
That's going to be a 19.
19. You cut into this thing. It doesn't appear to be wearing armor. It's just wearing cloth over this corpse. But you cut straight through it for a solid normal hit.
Okay, great. So we'll go ahead and just get my normal personal antithesis damage, which will be 13 points of damage.
13
slashing.
points of slashing damage. You cut into this thing, and it... You slash through this thing, and it is just... You cut into it, and it was a strong hit, and this thing kind of cuts back a bit and reels, and then just comes right back up, almost, again, puppeted. Apparently not very badly damaged.
And then third action, I'm going to attempt to move around it to flank with Corwin.
Sure.
I was also going to do that to give you flanking.
I was also going to do that just in case no one else did.
Yeah, me too.
I got your
was gonna
back.
do
Yeah,
that
me too. Yeah,
But you know what?
As soon as
Right.
I get out of
Right,
here.
Brain Abs,
As soon as I get out of here,
on the same
man.
page.
How about
guys.
you guys stop taking all the cool stuff and let me do the cool stuff?
Why don't we all just get into flanking together?
Fine.
We'll hold hands.
The flank and spank.
You want to sing Kumbaya?
Yeah,
while
we're just
you're
gonna
at
we're
it?
gonna circle it all the way
I want to
around.
devise a stratagem on it first and see if I'm going to be able to hit this thing. Because I'm not sure which part to hit, the weird light or the body it's puppeting.
Is the weird light like in its head? Is that what you said?
That's what's coming out. It's coming out of
Yeah,
its
yeah,
head
okay.
and face.
Ooh,
So you're going to
that's a-
step up and you're going to take a swing at it? Or what are
Devise
you-
a stratagem
what are you
first.
doing? Sorry?
Devise a stratagem first
Devise a
to
stratagem.
see if I'm going to be able to hit it. If
Yep.
I think I can hit the right part.
Sure.
That's a 15 on devise a stratagem.
15 on die. I mean, this thing is pretty easy to hit. You see it kind of moving around very erratically, but it's not armored,
Yeah.
so...
I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to hit this thing. Just like, well, if you take care of what it's puppeting, it's just a light, so it can't do that much. Step up and just drive the sword up straight through the ribs.
Nice.
That's going to be a total with a 15 of a 24
24 is
versus off guard.
versus off guard. Versus flatfoot, you mean?
It remaster changed the name to off guard.
Fair enough. The thing I haven't read that much of
Yeah.
yet.
How
It's
dare you
flat-footed.
not know it yet?
It's flat-footed.
Flat-footed kids.
So you drive your rapier up into it, and normally something with anatomy, you could go and pick a vital spot to go and hit. The corpse, though, again, it seems to be entirely puppeted, and it does not seem to react well. You will do no precision damage, but you will do your normal damage, which you will get your intelligence bonus to.
Because devise a stratagem. I still get my +4. It's better than a flat d6. It's going to be 7 damage total, 3 on the die.
Okie dokie.
That's 3 actions.
A solid hit. What's Drevin doing with his life?
I have successfully held the one in the door back for the round I was hoping I could. I am disengaging from it.
Okay.
So I'm going to step away from it and just say, watch your backs at this one. And move to be standing just in the middle so it has nowhere to go.
So which one has nowhere to go?
The one that we're
that's being
currently
flanked
dealing
now?
with, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to try to block it in to
Lock
try
it
to
in.
trap it. Okay.
So it has nowhere to go but be dealt with.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll deal with it before the other one becomes a problem.
There you go.
So I saw hitting the body. It didn't seem to do much to the light. I know it's not quite an undead. I'm just going to hammer the whole thing.
Turns out if you hit everything.
When in doubt, be indiscriminate.
And that will be a 17 to hit.
A 17 to hit. You're not flanking it, and it's jerking about very, I guess, unpredictably. However, there is something to be said for just mass indiscrimination, and you do manage to connect solidly. You hear a crunch as you drop it down onto its shoulders. Bonk.
And that will be 13 damage of bludgeoning and mass destruction.
Heh, mass destruction. You are destroying the mass as you go.
And you know what we're going to do again? Hammer.
Hammer.
Hammer time.
That went up by 6 minus 5 on the roll, so that's going to be 1 higher.
So an 18.
So there you go.
Very good. You connect.
19 even. Yeah.
Roll some damage.
Bah. And that's only going to be 6 damage.
Going to be 6 damage as you kind of you've crunched a bunch of bones. You come back up. It kind of flops out of the way. The thing looks in awful shape, just kind of hanging there, twitching a bit, but
That's
still
what I was hoping for.
dangerous. Nil, this field intensifies on you yet again. You have not felt it this bad. Go ahead and try to hold it off with your nature checks.
Not bad, not bad. That's 21.
21. You manage to successfully push this force away as you feel it kind of latch down even tighter on you. You're ready for it this time. You take no ill effects. Want to do anything else while you're floating there?
Just look if there's any, these things do seem to be, like, possessed in some way. Is there any, like, the skeleton behind that we can see behind the dais? It doesn't look like that one's been...
Does not look like it's been possessed. No, it's
Okay.
just kind of laying there.
There being a regular skeleton, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Sounds
even
like a plan.
not even an undead skeleton, just a corpse. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Okay.
Skeleton,
Yep,
unanimated.
Yeah.
sweet. Sounds like a plan. I guess that's my turn.
Alrighty.
Poser.
The
It's a poser skeleton.
the creature in the doorway, you expect it to lunge forward just kind of like it would normally do, but instead it just kind of hauls itself back, and the light in its face intensifies and glows brightly before pouring forth in this azure torrent that just it consumes all of you in a sort of blinding, brilliant light. Those of you who are there, which is everyone but Nil and Calbim, give me a fortitude save.
Oh boy.
26.
Boy, I don't like making those.
We
I really don't
we
like
do
making
like
those.
that. That's an 18 on the die for a 25.
Nice, nice.
I'm going to use this hold the line hero point from Jake, because that was a 5 on the die, and I have a +5. I don't think a 10's going to do it. So let's, that one up by 2, so it's a 12. So hopefully that at least makes it not a crit fail.
Okie dokie. So that's going to be fail, success, success. So we're going to do 4 damage of negative damage to both Altamok and Dreven, and our good friend
We'll
only
take
5
3
to Corwin.
He'll take 3.
I take them. I failed. I got a 12.
Actually, that's not an attack. I can't do it for that. Yeah.
No, so they got 4, you got 5.
Okay.
Yes, it's not an attack. Unfortunately, you can't interrupt it. And you feel this light wash over you, and your heart shrinks in your chest. You are frightened 1.
Like the Grinch.
And the light, as it pours out, almost seems to suck back into the corpse, which has almost a blue aura around it now, as it is floating there in sort of this vivid energy.
They don't look like normal ghosts.
I don't think they're undead at all.
I don't understand anything that's happening.
Calbum, again, this energy
Don't say that.
ratchets down on you, even harder than it did the last time, threatening to break your concentration. Give me that Arcana check.
Choke me, daddy.
What?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
I mean, that isn't a choke me daddy dice roll.
That's a bad roll. I'm gonna re-roll that one too.
I have a better phrase there.
Hey,
We got a bane
twice as
floating
good.
around here.
That's slightly better.
It got twice as good.
It's a 17.
So this thing, you try the same
You gonna be all
word
right,
that
man?
you throw up, tracing your 6-point circle and pushing it out, and it just shatters under the onslaught. You are doomed one as you feel your
Doomed
soul
one
being
crew.
ripped out of your body.
Go Doomed One team.
Yay.
Anything else you want to do in the meantime?
Can I recall
Try.
knowledge? I have lore spirit.
Lore spirits, good. What you want to recall knowledge on?
Spirit.
These spirit things that look spirity.
The ones that are trying to dismember your party members?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely you can. What's your bonus?
Plus 8.
Okay. Ooh, you're book lore. You're a book lore
Wait,
guy.
no, it's plus 10.
Plus 10?
Yeah.
At level 2?
Yeah.
Wizard
I
stuff.
have it's I think from my background.
Dang. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Spirit lore it is. So these are not spirits. However, close enough. You know enough about them. These are a specific type of wisp called a corpse light. They are wisps normally, so they're incorporeal, just lights, right? Little floating balls of malevolence, right?
I was thinking like corpse light, like just a shade
Like a
less
corpse
than a
light.
corpse. Yeah,
Like, not a heavy corpse, but a
yeah.
light
And I was
corpse.
like, okay,
It's a low-calorie corpse.
Yeah, like I was
That's
like,
what it is.
Twice
I'm like-
the fun, half the calories.
yeah, I'm like weird. Okay,
Just put
Okay,
a
go on.
shit on them.
They are undead. It's sort of they're not quite aberrants like a normal will-o-wisp would be, but they are a subset that are undead of wisps. They have died, and they can only really exist for any long period of time by hiding and possessing a corpse. So they actually have to live inside corpses to stay in existence. If they float around, sunlight will destroy them. So if these wandered outside into the daylight, they would be evaporated almost immediately.
Do they equally have the same weakness as other undead?
So you
Would I know?
You know that they are weak to certain types of. You definitely know about the sunlight weakness. You also know that even though their physical form is puppeted by the corpse light, with very little care given, as you can clearly see, you do know that the corpse itself can be taken apart by physical means. So you know that if, depending on the state of the corpse, different attacks will be more effective against it. But that's what you get. And
Burn it with sunlight! Burn it with sunlight!
That's about all you can hear. I assume. I don't know how the.
that's about right. That's
Yeah,
about
okay.
right. You all can kind of hear that kind of floating over as Calvin is desperately trying to shout something
Sunlight, huh?
through the light.
Okay.
And the final creature here is going to, let's see, spin, kind of twitching, and it's going to face. It can't get to. Who is that? That's Corwin. It can't get to Corwin.
It's
Isn't
between
this the
all
one
three of
between
us.
all three of us?
It's the one between all three of you.
Yeah. It can definitely get to me.
Well, not with what it wants to do.
Ah.
Again, that light, almost on a one last blast, is going to flare out and engulf Altamok and Dreven. So go ahead and give me another fortitude save, the both of you.
It's kind of already looking away from the other one. Just can't see it before it blasts again.
nice.
16 on the die, so
You guys are
24.
rolling hot over here.
Okay, it's a normal success.
15 on the die for a 22.
A normal success.
all right, double
nicely done.
checked. Retributor Strike goes off on damage, not attacks.
Yeah, it's just they take damage.
So I'm gonna hit this thing in the face.
Okay, perfect.
Because
you're
it damaged my ally.
So
You also take
you'll
3
take
less.
0 damage. You'll take 3 negative damage.
And I hit it for 20 total.
20 total's a hit.
Bonk.
I thought you meant damage.
Nope.
You roll a d20 for damage? Holy crap.
That will be
Very all over the place.
Yeah.
The remaster's wild, man.
17 damage.
17
Because
damage.
you said this was an undead.
I did say it wasn't undead. You do extra damage to undead?
I do on Retributive Strike.
Yep,
Only retributive strike?
retributive
Yes,
strike.
I have Shining Oath.
All right, fair enough.
So if it is an undead, it takes 6 additional damage.
Just like say like, hey, if this is an undead, I'm doing more damage the first time you fight something that you don't know what it is, because I don't know if I'm gonna remember that. The thing collapses in a kind of a mass as it kind of falls down.
What happens to the light?
The light winks out, and you'll see a
Like a flirty wink or a?
It'll kind of the flirt.
The corpse winks.
The corp wink. And a moment will pass, and this little wisp of blue will kind of pull up out of the corpse, floating around. And staring at it, it almost looks first entirely sort of just like a blue light, but you can make sort of a leering skull-like face out in the middle of this thing. Spooky.
Ultimach is going to get out one of his jars and attempt to catch it and contain it in a jar.
Like a Poe in Zelda. Spins around real fast. Yeah.
Okay.
And I take
Ectoplasm.
samples of stuff. I'm a thaumaturge. It's kind of what I do.
You hear in the background, get all of it! Ah! And you're like muffled and get the whole thing!
Get all of it. Ah, more doomed.
Oh, it's raving.
I'm so doomy.
I feel terrible.
All right.
I'd feel better with a jar of blue
I guess
light.
can I
I need it for a night.
can I try to use athletics?
Sure. Yeah. Try.
Draw out and use thing.
Try. Yeah. Pull a jar
Pull a
and
jar
try
and
to
try to
scoop it. It's tiny, so like a mason jar, you could fit it in there.
Yeah.
Just gotta.
Cap it off. Screw.
Yeah, it's like a.
Yeah,
it's like
give me
fair-
a-
it's like
you
a
got a
fairy in
Screw
Zelda.
crap jar?
Give me an
Yes.
athletics check.
It's got ball written on the side of it.
No, it has specimen written on the side of it. I'm a scientist, good sir.
I meant embossed into the glass. It's a ball jar.
Yeah.
It's just a mason jar.
It's got Hellman's.
oh gosh.
That's a 16 on the die for a
Using
23.
It's just very earth conscious.
Okay.
No spirits are weak to mayo, did you?
Reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm reusing this ball
So, I know I said it was incorporeal, but it doesn't actually say it's incorporeal anywhere.
I lied to you.
we have a wisdom jar.
It's not immune to being grabbed.
And it's tiny.
And it's tiny, so it fits in the...
Are you sure you want to say that sentence?
Yes!
Remember the
You're
repercussions
so
of this.
Finish the sentence. Finish the sentence.
You've never been
All
more
right.
sure of this in
Sentence.
your life.
So the thing is going to be... So you scoop this thing in the jar, and it catches in the jar. And you're going to have to... Getting the lid on the jar is going to be something... It's like you have it grabbed, you don't have it pinned or immobilized.
Okay.
So you can...
Roll a grapple against.
You've got
the,
it scooped.
the jar.
It's going to try to wriggle its way out of the jar. You're going to have to try to keep it in the jar. So
Okay, so I pull, go, and then can I take my last action to try to cap it off?
yeah, take your last action to cap it off. It'll be you'll have a multiple attack penalty
the one you already
effectively,
used.
but you'll
That's the other
also but it will be flat-footed as you put it in a jar.
See, the secret was to add a drop of soap
It
so
is
that it,
grabbed,
the,
so yeah.
the surface
Yeah, yeah,
tension
yeah,
is
yeah,
broken. you know?
I am
You were not prepared.
I was not
for
prepared.
me.
You're not going to regret this at all.
I was not prepared for this.
No, I'm just gonna throw him. The guy. It'll be fine.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I've run
this
like
is
3
crazy but-
sessions of a game for Jen, and at this point I'm just like, expect anything. Just
I love it.
left field.
Go for it. Go for it.
Go for it. Get me what you get.
It's gonna be a 9 on the die for a 16.
16. You are not able to get the lid on. It is trying its best to flit its way out of this jar, but you don't lose it either.
Okay.
What's Corwin doing?
When you drop to 0 hit points, it's going to float around you, restore your hearts.
Well, I'm not looking great, so.
No, it's like that, except instead of restoring your heart, it possesses your corpse.
Head cannon.
As
We're
long
gonna
as the
tame
body
this
is
thing.
still fighting.
I don't look awesome. In point
Is
of
the
fact.
body still fighting, or is it just the light?
Oh no, that
Like-
body is like it does. There's
Okay.
no bones left
No,
intact.
when you die, it comes out of the jar and your body keeps fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as your friends are concerned.
Actually, I really
Gentlemen,
kinda like
gentlemen,
that.
I'm trying to contain it, and you're not really helping.
Because we got 2 people to save, cousin, leave the dang thing.
No, we must contain
Trevin,
it.
you got this other one
Catch
handled.
it! Catch it!
Don't
Catch
leave
it!
it.
I'm just going to run up
Me and
towards the altars.
me and Calvum are literally like, catch it, catch it, catch it, catch it. This is restoring our life. We are no longer doomed.
Do we get advantage on our next rolls?
Yeah, Corwin's just first action is going to be running up towards the altars to try and get a better look at what's going on with them.
All right, so Corin is
Could you
gonna
not patch me
run
up first?
here.
2 actions get you there.
2 actions will get you
Not
up
all the
there.
way to the altar, just like close enough to be able to see what's going
Well,
on
you
with
can
them.
see
better,
from
so
where you
one
are.
action. Getting a closer, like non-30 feet away from it.
Okay,
look.
fair enough. You go up there and you look at it, and you can see that they are, well, floating in orange light over an altar. Let's see here. What kind of one thing you are positive of, you're here looking for the source of kind of the source of the gauntlet, the haunt that's happening here. You're almost positive that this isn't really related. You don't think this isn't like a that's odd. This isn't like a, oh, this is part of my lead. Like
This
you're-
is not relevant to that.
it's not
fully.
relevant to that, at least not directly. The fact that it's here means there's probably some relationship, but that you're sure of. Aside from that, you're gonna have to probably like try to figure out what's holding them here. Maybe.
That was going to be the goal. Was
How's
like a
your
recall knowledge.
religion?
Religion's pretty good. +7, or if it can I do occultism, it's +8.
Occultism
or.
will work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
+8.
That's him in the corner. That's him in the spotlight, rolling his religion.
All right. So you're not really familiar with this cult. Like you don't really know much about it, but
On account of all the stuff about it being destroyed.
on account of that, the whole like the stuff about it being
Because the
destroyed.
government keeps destroying all their books.
It's
The
all
the
redacted.
religious people do that. If the
Government,
government did it, I
same
would
thing.
know about it.
However, you do think that whatever is here draining their life force, you cannot fight this thing. This thing is either too ephemeral to directly target or is so powerful that you don't have a hope of being able to affect it. But what you can affect is there seems to be the carvings that scattered spiderweb over this altar surface seems to be a conduit through which this thing, whatever it is, seems to be able to be trying to reach out and grab your companions and drain the life force from them. Almost as though there is this, like if you have a high pressure hose and there's the barest pinprick, a little bit of water gets out, it can cause a bunch of damage. That's basically what's happening right now. So you think that perhaps by disrupting the ritual of the altar that's carved into the altar surface, you may be able to free your friends.
Seeing that, just going to get himself up to the altar and go to reach for one of his more sturdy and less like, this knife isn't for fighting, it's for like carving wood. Just a thicker, heavier blade.
Sounds good.
Something you can rip through stone with.
Your survival knife.
Chisel?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that you have to like, you go with a mallet and the other end to split fire.
Call
with
that
it.
a knife.
That's a knife.
There's
All
a
right,
br-
what's Drevin doing?
Drevin, help me get this thing in this jar.
I don't have time to deal with the jar.
It's probably that's probably your reaction all the time.
And I'm going to go back to keeping the other one at bay, stepping to be its blockade between it and the rest of the room.
Okay. You step over.
And hammer.
Hammer time.
Hammer time. Bonk.
Having a hard time really getting a good swing into the door, having to almost like underhand bring it up and just kind of crush this body up against the wall.
Like a croquet swing.
And that'll be a 19.
19 on the die. Yeah, what's that total?
No, it's
No,
19
it's a
total.
19 total.
Oh, okay, normal hit.
Yeah. And then the second one will miss, only an 8 on the die.
Okay.
Actually, why not?
Smoosh.
Hero
We're
pointing.
looking for smooshing.
Hero
Yeah,
point.
using a hero point. That's a 15.
Who was that one
Total?
16
Okay.
total.
The first one will connect solidly. The other one will bounce off the door frame. You are right. It's hard to kind of swing a two-handed mallet at a target in a door frame.
That second one was from Jake, right?
Yes. And that will be 8 damage.
8 damage.
Yeah.
The aura that's around this thing seems to slow your blow for a short time, but you do manage to make it through.
It's almost like it has a temporary barrier.
Almost as though there's a temporary barrier once that
Yeah.
aura kind of fades once you strike it. And Nil, why don't you go ahead? This force will compound on you again, and you again feel it getting even harder. Go ahead and give me your nature roll.
Nice.
Kind of nice.
It's above a 10.
I mean, it is above a 10, but only barely.
Is it an 11?
It is 11.
That is above a 10.
That is
Categorically.
We can do math.
That's legally above the 50th percentile.
I guess so, but I would like to have a 20. That would be nice. I guess I can just keep that. She's an 18. 18.
It's an 18. Well, it's not a critical failure.
Doomed 3.
And so your vision swims as this thing redoubles itself on you. You are doomed 2 now.
For the kids at home, Doomed 4 is death.
Yeah. Death with no saves.
Crikey.
Crikey, is
Jinky.
right.
That's why I came up to the altar.
It's almost like something eats your soul or something. Do you want to do anything else aside from feel awful?
I'm still cheering on
Wallow
our
in pity.
excellent kid. Be like, oh,
Kind of give inspiration.
but did he get it though?
Actually, guidance is verbal, as I recall.
It is, but I didn't know. I think he's outside 30 feet. Where 5, 10, 15?
That's 30.
That's 30
Oh, is it
exactly.
exactly? Oh, it's after he moved. Yeah, before he moved. Okay, yeah. Sweet. I can do
Guidance.
Guidance.
Guidance suggests a thing inside
Guidance
the jar.
to get
also
it
only-
inside the jar.
It's also
Yes.
only one action, so you can do it to 2 people.
Oh, can I do it to more than?
Give it to him
I
too
think you can do
for
it to 2 people.
saving you.
You can do it to 2 people, actually.
Okay, sweet.
cannot
Second
Cool.
priority is the person saving your life. First
Yeah.
priority
Yeah,
is jarring
yeah,
the wisp.
Absolutely.
Get it in the jar, get it in the jar.
For sure, you'll see like, come on, you can do it, and then like, okay, yeah, you do the thing, but like, go, go.
Oh, right, you're here. You're gonna save us. Yeah, that's great.
You are a person who is also here.
Sweet, that's my turn.
Alrighty.
So no, not Nil's love interest.
This
the
thing
one I'm
is
dealing
going to try to. This is the one in the doorway.
That's the jar.
Yes.
This thing is going to. Its
that's what the
jaws are going to then kind of pop
okay.
open, almost puppet-like, as it lunges itself up at your face.
Nom, nom, nom.
It's going to unhinge on you.
Is it going to bite the hammer again?
It's probably going to bite the hammer halved this time. We got a 16.
hammer half.
it's getting
that
closer.
nice grinding sound.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to flail its clawed limbs at you. It's just fishing, really, at this point.
My AC is only 20.
Actually, you know what? That's.
That's 2 higher than my AC. Also, I'm no
Remember, we're only level 2.
I'm no longer.
Oh, you know what I
frightened.
have?
Oh,
I have a villain point from
point.
Calm.
Dang it, he remembered.
So mean.
I blame you for this, Kevin.
You should. because
So
it's
instead
literally his
of
hero
missing
point.
you, it's going to roll a 27.
Oh,
That's not a crit.
Not a crit, most importantly.
Not a crit is what we're looking for.
Let me roll a die. I'm better at reading. I'll
Did
roll
you
this die.
re-roll a die after you confirmed the results, good sir?
What are you talking about? I would never do such a thing.
He would never.
It is called a villain point after all.
Yeah.
I think they're loud.
It's going to be 8 piercing damage as this thing's jaws latch on and bite into an exposed area at your vambrace. The claws, however, are going to clang harmlessly off of your plate. Caldum, again,
All
this
right.
orange light flares as you feel almost an endless hunger pulling at
Album's
you.
out of hero points, so big money, no whammies. Nope, that's a whammy.
What is
No,
How,
that's
how
not-
whammy is
That's
it?
not quite
It's
a win.
not too bad. It's an 8 on the die, which brings me to a total of 16.
Not a
bad.
critical failure. That's
Yeah,
good.
Not a critical failure, but that brings my doom up 1.
That's going to bring your doom to doomed 2 as
Yeah,
you
it's
Doom, doom,
it
doom.
crunches
Clang.
down on you.
All right.
Anything else you want to do?
So
you can scream.
This like yeah. This magic that is surrounding me just feels I mean like
Feels like the government's oppression.
yeah, which is getting harder every time.
Yes.
As-
Much
as
like
is
reality.
the
Much
way.
like reality,
Yeah.
As is
actually.
the way.
We see inflation at work,
Yeah.
ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Oh geez. Okay, well, I don't have anything I can do for the party, so I'm gonna cast shield on myself and
Something does come to mind, actually,
Ah,
because you see Corwin studying these runes, and he moves forward with some purpose, and you look down, and you can see the runes, too.
Oh,
If
right.
you want, I will let you ready an aid and attempt to direct him with either occultism, which would be easier, or Arcana or Religion, which will be harder.
Occultism and Arcana are the same for me, so they're a +8.
So if you want to
would like
ready
to
an
do
action, go ahead and ready an assist. You'll be able to go and try to help Corwin out.
I would like to do that. Yes.
While shouting advice.
Yeah.
The stuff that wizards are the best
Yeah.
at is
Shouting at the
loudly
volume of a
telling
whisper.
other people what to do.
about this once.
Now stay where you are.
All right,
You
this thing is going to try to
vile thing.
wriggle out of your jar.
This thing is staying in this jar.
My
gonna
life
try to
depends
escape.
on this, by the way. My entire soul
Does
is
it
in
have an
your jar.
it doesn't have an acrobatic score.
If it gets out of the
attack.
jar,
Unarmed
I
attack,
am
it's gonna get
voluntarily failing to save.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, at that point, I
Bryn's
will
just like, I
just
crit
die.
fail immediately.
Yeah.
I'm out.
All right. So it's going to get it's unarmed attack then, right? So that's going to be. Oh, it's actually got a pretty chunky unarmed attack. It's going to get a 26 to escape.
Whoa.
What's the DC?
Fortitude.
Fortitude. What's your Fortitude DC?
My Fortitude DC is 17, so that's
So not a crit.
Not a
not a
crit.
Success.
So actually, a crit would be better for you because then it would be holding you, and it wouldn't leave. It is now free.
It holds the jar somehow.
It
with
takes
no
the jar
hands.
with it.
It's going to wriggle out of the jar, and it is going to fly past you. And it's going to be making a beeline for the altar. I believe it is still the target of your exploit vulnerability.
It absolutely is. So I would like to attempt to get it. I'm gonna retry to grab it.
Retributive strike. You can actually.
Implement
it's,
is a
it's
strike.
implement
Does it have to be with
It is
your
a strike.
implements interruption? I think it has
Strike
to be
it
your
with
weapon.
the jar.
I'm gonna strike it with. No, I'm gonna try to get it with Najee. Although Najee does have the ability. He does have Spirit Touch.
Yeah, which apparently was great for incorporeal things, but I guess this
They're
thing's
not
not
incorporeal.
incorporeal. It doesn't
You know
say
what?
it is.
It
so.
doesn't matter because this thing was the target of my exploit vulnerability, and it hates the light. So we're going to
Rub a glow stick on your sword.
We are.
The one beam of sunlight coming in here. Just
No,
ching.
actually,
Reflective
he's gonna
mirror.
pull out a handkerchief, and the handkerchief actually just has a little beam of sunlight in it.
The jar breaks as you drop it.
That's fine.
And,
It's not
How could
fine.
this
Doom
happen
4.
to
Let's
me?
go. I'm leaving. Goodbye, guys.
roll the hit.
Bryn is out.
Out.
Sorry. I didn't mean to make all your dreams
Don't worry,
die.
there's another one.
There is
Jari.
There was one other.
We'll try
That
to
is
get
a
that one.
17 on the die, though, to make up for it. So
you-
for a total of a 25.
You hit it solidly, and as your sword kind of cuts through it, it just kind of with a kind of an echoey shriek, it just vanishes, and you cut it into pieces.
Oh. Okay. Sorry.
Should have taken that hilt and like shoved it in there. Into the-
All right. Well, that's a reaction.
That was a reaction. Yep, that was its turn also. What you want to do? It's your turn now.
I guess I'll run up to the altar and I'll be like, "So what are we doing? We're cutting the altar, right?"
Destroy the runes on it as far as I can think.
All right.
They're channeling something, but
So I'll take out. Well, Najee, this isn't your usual thing, but we'll make a go of it.
How's your thievery looking? Naji's like, are you serious? It's a stone altar. What is wrong with you?
there's no blood in that.
I'm sorry, but we're just going to have to make do.
Wait, no. And
I'm going to attempt to cut at some of the runes to ruin them to see if I can't screw them up.
All right, so
You know what this does to a sword, right?
Yeah, well, Najee certainly knows.
Ah, my bones! My sword bones!
My sword bones. What's your? Thievery is technically what you do to disable something. How's that thievery score of yours looking?
+2.
You have something. You have something.
It's not
That's purely
nothing.
dex
It's
mod.
not nothing. Yeah, that's true.
Unless you want to let me.
Do you want to attack the solid stone altar at level 2?
Actually, what I could do is if I can crack it, that will break the runes as well as anything else.
And release all the magic.
You could
trapped
certainly
inside.
try to cut
Magical
through the
nuke.
giant
Yeah.
block of stone with your sword. I mean, you clearly
This
watch
is
too
an
much
anime.
anime, so yes, maybe.
No,
You have the
no,
power
I'm
of
just
God
gonna,
anime on your
I-
side. You
If
can
only
do
there was
it.
a weapon trait that did specifically this thing.
It's still a giant block of stone. All right, well,
I'll just attempt to break one of the runes.
try to break the runes. Okay, cool. So go ahead. I think give me a thievery check. The fact that you're trying to use a sword here to do
Pommel.
it is particularly rough.
It's gonna be awesome.
pommel.
It's gonna be awesome.
Go for it. What's that thievery total?
It's gonna be an 11, good sir.
An 11 total. So you swing down at this and you strike sparks off the altar as Najee scrapes down the stone.
Ooh.
And Najee goes, ah!
Or
as you scrape it.
Maybe we shan't do that.
You think?
But wait, it's a sharpening stone.
Yeah.
Let me ponder. Let me ponder. And he'll start to think about it.
All right, you're going to go
Start to think
ponder
about it.
then.
I like it.
Corwin, with an actual chisel in your hand,
Yeah.
might do better.
Well, I got an aid going my way because I'm gonna
Right.
try the thievery check. So
Yep, roll
you
me
first.
that occultism aid, DC 20.
Yeah. 15 plus 8. That does it.
Get a plus one,
20.
sir.
And I got a +1 from guidance here, so I'm gonna put me at a +10 total.
Nice.
Let's try this first here. Just pull up the huge, real wide flat knife and just try and catch on one of them and just full carve across, just as through as many as I possibly can.
Chisel, you're using a
Cut that weird
chisel.
one. Cut the one that's weird.
That is a nat 20.
Oh!
So that is a
He cut the
30
weird
total.
one. He did
All right.
it.
Yeah, he cut the weird one.
So you hit a grain in the stone, and you cut in, and not
Anime
only
was
do you
on his
cut
side.
through, do you cut through runes, but a crack forms across, obliterating a good line of these things as you go. The light around Nil and Kalbum flicker and weaken noticeably.
Just gonna keep going at it with another one, just trying to widen that gap and go through.
Look,
Trevin,
Najee,
if you
it's
got a sec, I
working.
got the thing broken mostly. You should be able to finish it off. At least the structure's weakened, but I'm gonna see what I can keep doing. And just gonna go for another one here.
Yep.
+8 only on this one though.
I started it.
That is a 16 on the die though, so that is a 24 total.
You managed to obliterate some more. You weren't so lucky as to hit another grain in the stone, but the light weakens yet again around them.
Just gonna keep trying. Gotta get.
Go for it.
They ain't looking good. They're looking real pale. 7 on the last one, only a 15 total.
You're moving a bit too quick, but you've made a lot of progress.
Just trying to find more spots of just like what looks important. I can't read this.
What's Drebin doing?
I'll come back for this thing in a minute. And it'll take me 2 actions to get there.
It will. You can get up in front of. 2 actions will actually get you kind of around here. When you move on to the side, you actually do see the corpse of another cultist behind the altar. But it doesn't appear to be moving nor possessed.
So I see where this crack is formed.
You do.
And I saw where a certain one of us thought that a sword would be good at this.
Possibly
So-
wishful thinking.
I'm just going
Actually,
to...
you don't even see that.
I watched it
You
happen.
might have seen. Yeah, you noticed she did it.
all the
There's
sparks.
no mark on that thing whatsoever.
I'm going to use a proper tool for this.
Touched it.
No finesse, no fanciness or anything. This is Demolition Dog coming out in full force.
We got the pious puppy earlier.
Yeah.
Now we need the demo
Demolition
dog.
dog.
And his alter ego.
Those peas
So-
turned upside down.
When you swing a weapon, you stay tight and you stay concise to make it fast and accurate. When you're breaking something, you full extend overhand and bring it down.
Oh yeah.
Grab
right
the bottom
along
of the
that
hilt.
crap.
Big as a lever you can get.
Roll me athletics. It is a giant block of stone. It's not difficult to hit.
Natural 20.
Oh, nice.
Can I
28.
interest you in nat 20s?
Big
Well,
bonk.
they can just roll 20s.
Demo Dog strikes again.
You bring this hammer down and
got
you
raising on it, too.
hit it right in the crack, and the thing with a ear-splitting crunch will split violently and fall into 2 pieces. The orange light around Nil and Calblum disappear, and they collapse onto the ground.
I'll catch you.
I'm like trying. I'm like as limp as I can go, and I'll be like, we
I
nearly
like the
had.
cool blade pose.
We
Use the
nearly
right
had
tools,
our own
Mocker.
wisp.
I'm sorry, I didn't have a hammer with me.
We ain't out of it yet.
And so, Nil, you might spend an action overcome with grief at the loss of having a wisp in a jar.
I'm sorry.
There's still another one.
There's still a chance.
yeah, there's still another one.
Totally.
We're fine.
I'll
I
be
have
like,
I have another jar.
what?
I didn't kill
I'll
the
let you
other
spend
one yet.
supply to pull another jar
Excellent.
out.
Yes, I will absolutely spend supply to pull another jar out.
All right, we'll get there if we have to.
Drevin's like, I didn't kill the other one, and I'm like, what?
You can still see it like peeking around the
excellent
door.
into your
news.
eyes.
It started as Pete trying to get out of the door, clawing it open. Now it's clawing into the door.
Yeah.
They want to put me in a what? No.
Help!
So what's that next one to a mope? Or can
No,
I
no,
use
you're
3?
fine.
So I'll be like, okay.
Hey,
snap
Red
to
Sage
it.
RPG raiding with a party of 7 raiders.
Hey.
Hello.
Thank you, Red
Thank
Sage.
You came just in time to watch us put wisps in jars.
And
Yes.
save 2 people from nearly dying.
Yes, having the soul
But the
pulled out.
That's unimportant.
The wisps, though. And I'll, as I use my staff to kind of stand back up, it'll slam into the ground, and kind of a vapor will escape out of the staff and kind of seep into the wounds of all of our party members. And I'm going to do a 3-action heal.
Hey.
Mocker is extremely happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I was going to
Very
spend an
nice.
action healing you, but I didn't want them to go to Doomed 3.
No, for sure.
Do we have any hit point loss or just
Nope.
the doom?
It wasn't
Just a
bothering
little
with
bit.
your
I mean,
body.
just the
Doom.
doom. What's
Just
It
a
was
little
just
doom.
sucking your soul.
Oh, Max!
8.
Nice. 8
That
points for
puts me
everybody.
back to full.
Yes.
You just have the casual doomed amount where if you
Yay.
go down to a crit, you die.
It's fine.
Easy. And nobody cares. It's fine.
That corpse is going to wail around the corner and charge straight down.
Good.
As it
Charge into my
moves,
jar.
It's going to, let's see here. Let's see. It sees Drevin. It's going to move forward, and it's going to kind of jut to one side, and it's going to run around the corner to move behind Corwin, actually.
So it's coming for me.
No,
coming
it's
for
coming
me.
for Corwin.
Okay.
I broke the
ruined his
altar in
life.
half. It's real mad.
I broke the altar.
The thing moves.
It's going for the red token.
Even though it still flails like it's mindless, this thing apparently moved with some kind of purpose in mind. It's going to rush across. It's only going to have time to make one swing at you, but it's going to do it for a 26.
That's going to hit.
You'll have resistance 3 to this as a shield of Saren Ray briefly pops up.
Resistance 3 is going to only deal you 7 piercing damage as its jaws latch onto your shoulder.
Only 7.
Could have been 10.
Yeah, it could have been 10.
Calbum,
7
you are
storms.
free.
Oh boy. Okay.
You're also in front
so
of the
this
bad
thing
guy.
is standing right in front of me, which is the exact wrong place for me. To
Technically,
be.
you're on the other side.
No, it's- yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Whoop.
That's okay. Right. So Calvin's gonna move behind, or like in the corner, behind the big dog. He's just gonna scoop between his legs and stand behind him, and then he's gonna pull out a kitty toy. I brought props this week.
Hey.
For those of you on the stream,
Jingles.
and then I'm gonna throw. It's covered in this liquid that's kind of, as it hits the floor, like sputtering and sizzling, and I throw it at this skeleton, and for an acid splash.
Ooh, an acid splash.
Yeah, a true strike acid splash, no less, because why not?
I don't think
You
you have
moved.
the action for
Do you?
moving.
That's right. Okay, I don't have the action for true strike, but
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
have the
But you
action
can
for
acid splash.
Acid splash. That's a 13 plus, I believe, a
8.
8.
yeah, 8.
21.
13 plus 8 is 21.
21. Solid hit. It splashes into this corpse.
Does that have splash damage?
It does
course
have a
it-
little bit of.
It's all right. You're just gonna get a facial.
It's
gonna
just
get
one.
one.
Just gonna take a point of
It's
splash
just
damage for
one.
Corin
You're
as this thing
fine.
bounces.
It's fine.
It's just
You're
salicylic
fine.
acid. You're fine.
It's fine.
great for your face.
Okay, so
I
that's
know
5 points of damage.
Your
Okay.
tunic is way more fashionable now that he's acid
Yeah,
washed.
that's great.
Yeah.
Now you know my pain.
You stand in the wrong place, bud. Sorry.
I
What's
haven't had a
Mocker
chance to
doing?
move.
That's the wrong place.
You stood next to me. That was the wrong place. Don't do that.
Mocker will look back at you and go, "This time, it's not getting away." And I'm gonna run around it so that it can't escape,
Flanking it with
flanking
Corwin.
it with Corwin. And all right, we shan't be hitting you on any more tables.
I should hope not.
And Mocker will take a look at this thing. He knows they're not all the same, so I will attempt to evaluate it again.
Yep. Roll me that esoteric lore check.
That's a nat 1, so we're just gonna. I'm gonna let that go off.
You let that go off?
It's just a nat 1.
It is a critical failure. You look at this thing and your mind just blanks because you're like, I'm gonna knock that wisp out of the body. I'm gonna put it in a jar. I can't believe that works. Why does that work? It doesn't make any sense.
Its
Oh
weakness is
God!
jar.
And then upon doubting yourself, all of your power vanishes momentarily.
Your sword has gone silent because Dislike
had
you
a
now.
moment of sanity.
A moment of
exactly.
sanity, moment of clarity, and you realize, wait a minute, everything I do is BS.
He'll have to sit there for a moment and like readjust his worldview. He'll actually take out some smelling salts and he'll run them under his nose.
That's a terrible
Oh
idea.
my god, that hits you
That
like
is-
a.
oh.
You get like, yeah, your nose is on fire now.
You don't have a nose any longer.
I feel so much better
Yeah, that
though.
burns.
And I'm gonna just swing down at it.
Fair enough. Roll it a hit.
Aren't you supposed to keep those things like
Yes.
a foot away
Yes.
from
Yeah,
you?
no,
it is
Mocker
not
does
good
not
to-
get to huff that thing. Mocker
Straight-
gets it to here, and it's like,
Straight ammonia.
If you do
gas.
that, you just roll for unconscious?
yes.
Yeah, and honestly, it like he legit
Is that
his
that one?
nose
No, it's a
stings
two.
so much that a little bit of blood starts kind of running down his face, and it really distracts him. So he goes completely wild with the sword.
Fair
2
enough.
on the die.
It's,
I've done smelling salts once. I didn't know you're supposed to keep it a foot away. I did it right there. Stunned 3.
You
didn't
lose
move.
your next turn.
Ma-
I
Mocker
fully
lo-
just sat there and had to reevaluate myself.
Mocker looks like he's reevaluating his life.
He probably should be.
probably good to reevaluate.
Step 1, devise a stratagem. This one is... Oh, that hurt a little bit. Just kind of recoiling here. Gonna see if I can hit it. 9... I think a 9's gonna do it.
It might. It's not
with
wearing armor a lot.
Flanking. So that's gonna be an 18 total with
18.
flanking.
You judge it. You strike forward with your rapier and strike home. You successfully hit. No precision damage,
Yep.
but everything else.
Gonna be minimum damage, only gonna be 5.
5 damage. All right.
But that's
yeah.
only 2 actions.
Ready to the jar.
I'm not ready in jar or anything.
We all have jars at the ready. We're
also,
all
I,
standing around.
I only have 1 action. I can't ready
The
anything.
wisp just kind of like.
Nosebleed. Help.
Could I see if I could... Like, this thing's still puppeting a body, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not just the light.
Yep.
Could I try to just kick the legs out of this, like, skeletal body?
Yeah, it's called the trip attempt.
Cool. I'm going to use Desperate Swing, make a strike. In this case, a trip. If I can do
Trip's
that.
not a strike.
Fair. No, I'm just going to hit it again. Screw it. Yeah, just put this thing down. It lets me ignore multiple attack penalty. However, if the attack fails, I release my weapon or drop prone if I was using an unarmed attack.
Okay.
So if I miss, I'm going
You
to drop my
your-
sword.
You drop your sword. Okay.
But I don't have a multiple attack penalty for this attack.
That's good.
No map.
That's a hero point from Saiyan Fox.
Done.
Might be dropping my sword. 'Cause that's a
Uh-oh.
5. It's only a 14 total with flat-footed.
You strike out and manage to pierce through the corpse, but it twists away from you, and the blade caught in its ribs is ripped from your hands, clattering onto the floor.
Yeah, it was worth a shot. Still got the big old chisel in my hand, though, so...
Drebin.
Why do I have to do everything?
Because you're the only confident party member.
Hey,
Because my nose, my
I
nose
hit it
is
with
bleeding.
acid. I also hit Corwin with acid. It's fine. It's fine.
I got the
fine.
altar
You
mostly
saved
worked out.
him and got acided for your troubles.
Well, I'm going to walk over, same as I did last time, just kind of boxing it in as best I can.
He just saunters over.
All right, you'll saunter
All
over and kind
right.
of move into like a
Stomp.
T type
Stomp.
of formation as you move around the back of the altar here.
Exactly. And then 2 swings of the hammer, 1 overhead, and then 1 underhanded, just kind of trying to knock it up off its feet a little bit. So, first one, 17, that hit earlier.
Yes, and you hit it again.
And then second one,
This wisp seems just as
Is-
trained in defense as the last one.
20 total, 2 hits.
20 hit, 2 hits, yep.
It's going to roll 2d12.
9.
That was self-imposed.
So, 8, 12 total. I rolled real bad on those dice.
12
Between
total
both
damage
attacks.
with both attacks.
Yeah.
Oh,
4 on 2d12.
okay, fair enough. You clobber it, but it's still rolling. What's Nil want to do?
I am going to run up. So you're still looking pretty bad, and how is Drebin looking? Are you looking pretty
fine.
Are you pretty fine? Okay, sweet. Oh, sweet.
Helps
Nice.
when you're wearing steel.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
only
okay,
taken 1 melee hit.
Oh, okay,
Everything
sweet.
else has been chip damage from their aura.
Plus,
attack.
you got the healing already from you.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Okay, well, I'm gonna scuttle behind
Yes.
Mocker.
Skitter.
I'm
My
gonna
favorite.
scuttle behind Mocker.
Oh,
if I
behind
can get
Mocker,
a-
not just right there. Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, to scuttle all the way around to Mocker so that I can and I'll like dig into my bag and I've got like kind of looks like a snail, but you're not totally sure. It could be many things, and it's kind of slimy. It's
I found this
Probably
weird rock that was
fine.
oozing.
Is it a gift?
and I'll see like he's kind of blind, and I'm like, perfect. This is a great subject. And I'll be like, here, Marker, eat this, and I'll just like shove it into his mouth. And it does. It is horrible. But
Mocker's eyes like go
canonically
wide.
Is it somehow worse than the smelling salts?
The
Mocker's
smelling
neck,
salts
like,
is just pain and a lack of sensation.
Yeah.
This is a sensation. It's just bad.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So you do get 1d6 plus 4 health.
It
but
tastes-
you are really. I mean, you're drawn back into your body, but it is not pleasant.
It is so bad you are tasting it with a thorough lack of smell right
That's
now.
about right.
Yeah, it's 5 total health. But
Is
We'll
this
take
not
it.
so good berry?
yes, exactly. This is a mediocre
This
berry.
is worst
of-
berry.
Yeah,
This is the worst berry
Swamp
that
berry.
exists.
yeah.
Mocker feels better, but does not feel better about it.
Oof. Oof.
Good description. I like it.
And I think that's my turn.
All right. I think Nil's done enough damage. This thing is.
We're gonna call that Escar Glow.
Escar Glow is right. Flail. This thing is going to actually step outside of the flanking position.
Aggressively or retreating?
No, it's still aggressive. It's going to circle around Corwin and continue its assault on him.
Okay. I meant aggressively as in like moving into us rather than away. 'Cause
It's
I
moving
wanna
out of
smack it.
flanking position.
I want to hit it, okay?
It doesn't want to.
I know.
To hit it. it's
It would rather
You
not.
it's going to roll a 26 to hit Corwin.
That's
You
not
don't
a
want
crit.
to be
Have
involved.
resistance 3. That shield of Sarenrae coming down.
Yeah, resistance 3. You're going to take 5 piercing
Is that a
damage.
reaction, or do you just
Not
get it every
looking
time?
good.
Reaction.
A reaction.
And
When
a
an
second
enemy
attack
does-
is going to
use it one
swing
time
at you
every
with a
year round.
clawing
when an enemy
slash
does damage,
for
I can trigger resistance
16.
on anyone.
Gonna miss.
Alrighty.
Get caught by the first one, knocked out of the way the second before it comes through.
Calbum.
Oh, my turn. Cool. I pull out another cat toy of sorts.
How many did
It's a
you
yarn
bring?
ball.
What is
Don't worry
happening
about it.
here?
This one is going to be a True Strike telekinetic projectile. I'm not going to splash you this time, I promise.
I would hope so. I'm not looking good.
Yeah, I can see. All right. I'll take that 14 on the die plus 8. Is it 24? 22. I can do math. I'm good at math. I'm really good at math. I
Either
studied
of
math.
those
It's fine.
hit.
I'm good at math.
Have you seen his intelligence score on Calvin?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
great.
really good
He's
at math. So that's a 22 on the die. All right,
Solid
yeah.
hit. The
Okay,
cat
great.
toy strikes with curious force,
Correct.
making kind of like a jingle
And,
sound.
Curious Force is correct.
yeah, Curious Force for minimum damage of 5.
5 damage. You clank. It reels.
It is just a ball of yarn after all. It's
Yeah.
very fast, but
It's moving
it
at the
doesn't do a
speed
lot
of
of
sound,
damage.
but
Yeah.
it's just a ball
It
of
doesn't-
yarn.
it
I
doesn't
can
do a lot of
guarantee
damage.
you if I put a ball of yarn in a railgun and fire it, it will kill the thing I aim it at.
Yeah.
All right, Mocker.
So,
getting your sense of
Mocker
smell
has
back
had-
slowly.
Has had his
to be
sense of
replaced-
smell, his
is it-
sense of taste, and his sense of hearing assaulted.
Also, your
in
sight
the-
because you got blasted by light.
Literally, so the only thing he hasn't been assaulted with yet is touch. So he'll,
I mean, besides the smacks.
Yeah.
but aside from the smacks, so to get his mojo back, he's gonna pull out a hedgehog thing and just kind of run his fingers over it to hopefully just complete the trifecta of unpleasant senses. And then he's
maybe-
gonna look at this thing and he's gonna attempt to figure out what it is because he had to reset. He had to reset himself,
Pulls
bring
a
himself
porcupine
back.
out of his cloak.
Yeah, man.
Maybe if everything's awful, everything will be better.
Yeah.
That's how
That's-
thaumaturgy works.
That's the line of thinking that makes his stuff work. So you were thinking too clearly before.
Yeah, that
That's
was the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
You have to increase the inanity.
Yep.
To bring on the nat 20. I just want to see a nat 20 roll right here. That would be so beautiful.
That is a
Pretty good.
17 on the die
pretty
for
good.
a total of a 24.
That is a success.
It's as I suspected. If everything is unpleasant, then everything is good.
Yes.
You
This is why we're friends, by the
you
way.
examine this
You
thing.
should take this entire deck and just cross it across your desk and have all of them. All the status effects.
All the status effects.
The
You
upside is most
roll
repulsive.
this across. The cards, the deck of status effects. You focus on this thing, having seen it fight, and it doesn't have any specific weaknesses in and of itself. Aside from, you do know that natural light is going to be a big problem for it, and the back of this, it is daytime outside, and the back of the chapel is taken up by 4 very large stained glass windows that you notice, which all seem to have the what appear to be spirits being pulled from the earth and drawn into what looks like a 4-pointed star high above the chapel. But more importantly, behind that window is direct sunlight.
Mocker's smile will create its own little bit of natural sunlight.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then he will take
We get it. He's hot.
and then he will just pick up a random rock and just throw it at the window, and then
Just throw the porcupine.
yeah, he's gonna throw the porcupine. It's already in his hand. Works.
The
That
porcupine
poor
statue,
animal.
guys. The porcupine statue.
And he'll just know that it's gonna work. He's not even gonna check to make sure that it breaks the window, and then he's just gonna swing down with Najee.
Roll to hit, and the rock will smash through the glass, and the beam of sunlight will strike the lot of you, specifically the wisp at the dead
As
center.
well as my teeth, setting off my smile.
Shiny
My
teeth
teeth
and
will
me.
strike at it. Gross.
I mean, it does a
Shiny
bite
teeth
attack,
that
so you bite it right
sparkle.
back.
That's a 10 on the die for a total of an 18.
Hit.
Nice.
My shiny teeth and me.
Yeah.
you have a bite attack versatile.
That's gonna be 11 damage.
11 damage.
I have a bite attack.
It's gonna go up there. You cut this thing down. It collapses under you, and the wisp will flee the destroyed corpse.
Drop everything,
And
Jar.
the sunlight like pierces it, and it freezes for a brief moment.
Jar.
Perfect. It's frozen in air. Get it now. Get it now.
Jar. I have a third action.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you do.
No,
I think you had to
because
step.
you
I guess technically we did the sunlight as your
As my
extra
esoteric
damage,
yeah, as my
esoteric damage. All right, I'll give it to you. Make an athletics check.
Wouldn't you have to move?
Gonna take your.
She moved last round.
I moved last round.
She's in the melee range.
I was in melee range last round.
Oh no!
Oh, no,
you
but
do
No,
have
she
to move.
She moved
Yeah.
last
Oh,
round.
It moved away.
It moved
Yeah,
away.
Oh,
Oh,
it moved
right.
away.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then I do have to move. I don't have a third action. Bummer. Okay. I'm just gonna
Don't
sit here and
worry.
be sad.
We got 3 people's turns.
Sorry,
At least one of them is interested in putting this thing in a jar.
whole bunch of people with jars.
We're gonna spend half our resources on jars.
Step 1, battle medicine myself.
Sounds good.
I do not feel great.
Step 2, you're a loser for not trying to put this thing in a jar.
I have 2 other actions left, and now that you've done that, I'm not going to try to.
There.
Spite.
I'll teach you.
Step 3.
No
spike.
jars for you.
But no, I'm going to risky surgery myself because I want to be at full health.
Want to risk?
I'm going to take 6 damage.
Takes out a knife.
So now I have a plus 11, and I'm going to be getting if I succeed, a crit success.
Okay.
Let's go just for the trained DC. 'cause
He
I
basically like tries to cut this putrefying flesh out of yourself.
Actually, yeah, let's screw it. Let's go for the expert. I need the health. I'm pretty low with that.
Crit fail instantly does.
That is 8 plus 11. and
19.
then it's 19, but this doesn't have my item bonus.
You have an
'Cause
item bonus?
I have the healer's toolkit.
Oh,
the
from
expanded healer's
from the
kit.
fishing kit. Yep.
So that's a 12, which gets me exactly the DC.
20. There you go.
So this is going to be plus 17, which is going to get me to full health, but also 48. Those are D10s.
You roll d10s.
My dice got mixed
I mean,
up.
who cares?
Think about it.
You
Yeah,
could
my
win.
dice
Plus
got-
17 gets him there.
I already had it in my hand. I was like, oh, there's the other one. No. 7 and 11.
Why are you
18.
adding it?
28.
You're already at
Yeah.
full.
Because I feel like going big
Because
numbers.
numbers are
Because
fun.
numbers
Because
are
numbers
fun.
are fun. Yeah, that's
18
fair.
plus
Numbers are
17,
fun.
so I'm at full health.
It's math practice, y'all.
I healed myself more than my max health, which is
Nicely
always
done.
great.
Nicely done.
And then just kind of gonna look over his shoulder at Drevin as this thing's kind of frozen in place. You said destroy everything in here, right?
Yeah.
Just gonna go out and bring the sword up into it.
All right, roll to hit.
I trust the religious man who has saved my life several times.
What?
All of it's gotta go.
You don't trust the conspiracy theorists that really want to study weird crap?
11 plus 9 is going to be 20 total.
It seems to be quite clumsy, being speared by sunlight. So it's solid hit, and as you drive your sword through it, it kind of puffs and comes apart.
Oh, I'm sad. I wanted to
All
put it in.
right.
And
That's-
Immediately going over, taking that body, throwing it through another window, out into the light, just in case.
just in case.
Oh, the one that was behind the altar, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And as this, as the last wisp falls, a hissing sound kind of comes from the shattered altar, and the entire floor of the dungeon seems to sink slightly. And it's not just a sensation, because you hear the sound of cracking timbers and falling stone. And as the entire foundation of this floor seems to have shifted slightly, as this power that was contained here seems to have been dissipated, taking with it some of the magic that was sustaining this place. And you hear a crumbling, but dust falls from the ceiling. But since most of this ceiling is already collapsed, there really isn't much else to fall down. So you are all safe for the moment.
No hitting any pillars.
We have managed to save our companions. We have managed to survive this vile temple. I think it's about time we reward ourselves with a 10-minute break.
Hey.
Stretch your
need
legs,
some
get yourself a
water.
drink. Thank you very much for joining us.
Don't we have to
And
take some notes?
We will be right back. Yeah.
Hey.
Welcome back, everybody,
You look goose.
to Abomination Vault's Undeniably Good Time Network, UGT Entertainment. Thank you very much for joining us. We are back from our 10-minute break, having rescued our companions from the clutches of the evil. You almost got it. You almost got that wisp in a jar.
I don't know if I will ever forgive you, Nick.
I'm the one that killed it. Don't blame him.
That was the second one. Nobody cares about the second one. The first one we had in a jar.
He's the one that
It
made
really
it
was
resist.
put in a jar. It was
You could
literally
have just
put
let
in
me
a
have it,
jar.
GM. Why didn't you just let me have it?
We could have had a pet. I could have put it inside this little rib cage, and it could have just stayed
It's a
there
pet,
forever.
kind of like how some people keep like cobras as pets.
Wait, hold on.
This is my
We
emotional
could have
support
put
alligator.
a blue LED hooked up to a
Yes,
watch battery.
I could have done, and it
in
could
there.
have. When it opened up, it would just be like a little light coming up.
We
Bloop,
could have
bloop,
had
bloop,
this.
bloop.
Y'all making me feel bad.
You should feel bad.
It's fine. Just let us do it to a later one.
Yeah, just find a different.
Just roll better. It's
Yeah,
your fault.
yeah.
I'm not taking the blame
No,
for this.
you roll worse.
Yeah.
You could have fudged that dice and said it didn't get out of that
true.
jar.
There's
I mean, I
no
could
we
also
don't
say
fudge
you
dice
can
here.
Have it. I mean, I can make up stuff.
Could have hero pointed to make the roll worse.
You absolutely
avoided,
could
sorry.
have.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, welcome back, everyone, to these shenanigans.
I guess we should go over our.
We should
who
definitely
we are.
do that. Yeah, we'll go back again over who we are.
Thankfully, the two of us are confirmed alive now.
Yeah, exactly. That's no
Yeah.
longer in question.
Looking
like
at
what
my
was in the
Doom
show.
2. Yep,
we walk
confirmed
into the
alive.
next room.
Yep.
Totally alive.
Hey, you're
Definitely
doomed,
alive.
but you are alive.
You're mostly dead. Well, we'll start over here this time. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about who you are, what you look like, and what you're doing.
My name is Altamok Mako Thorngard. I have no nose hairs anymore. They've been burned away by smelling salts. But the good news
That
is
you
that
did to yourself.
my friends are free. My mind is back. My senses are sharp. I'm a
mouth tastes bad.
thaumaturge. And I'm here to know. Know all.
No, all.
I'm Bryn. I'm playing Nil, and I'm a dwarf druid. I have a very suspicious aura about me, I would say. I have a nice staff of nice carvings that are only slightly gruesome. And
Yeah,
I,
just don't look at him too close.
Yeah, I basically just revel in all of the creepy stuff.
I am Derp, and I play Dreven Sorrel, the pious puppy, demolition dog,
Yes.
paladin of Saren Ray,
Whatever is needed at the time.
keeper of the Saren Way.
God, I hate that.
He's just gonna add a new one every
Please
time.
stop.
The titles keep accumulating.
Emotional damage. I'm Bobby. I play Calvin Fimblybottom. He's a tiny little guy who reads books and has a kitty cat, which I have not seen for a little while. Where is my cat?
Know where that cat wasn't, inside that orange
That's
light.
right.
with you.
Cat was like, mm-mm.
Spork found more interesting things to deal with.
No.
And I'm Corwin, currently popping a pill back from a little bottle he pulled out to get himself feeling right as rain again after stabbing himself a little bit to get some corroding flesh off. Didn't feel too good.
Yeah, getting bit by corpses never does.
Yeah, nah, it's never pleasant, but helping out the lumberjacks as a surveyor and general investigator of the weird stuff going on at Gauntlet, pretty handy.
And you find yourselves in the, well, now quite ruined shrine, which Drevin is able to remember is something to do with a creature called Nimbaloth. But you don't have any other details. But more importantly, something does draw your attention. It's a sort of the tinkling ring of a tiny bell. Looking over, you can see that one of the cat toys that you threw out is being gleefully batted about the room by a very oversized cat, pouncing upon it and apparently having a great time. It pauses slightly and then kind of looks over at the bottom of you and kind of looks at Calvin and then kind of deliberately turns around and faces away from you.
That's right.
This is how it says it loves you, you're sure.
It shows me its butthole like all cats do. That's PG-13, right? I can say that.
I guess.
Probably.
Where's the Twinkle Tush?
There you go. We'll never talk about that product again.
God, I hate
Are
it.
there
That was an
Worst.
awful product.
We don't need to go into details.
Nope, that's it.
are there any books at all in this room?
Yes. Are there any books?
If anyone wants to,
Sleight of hand it away.
if anyone wants to give me a perception check to search around,
Roll faster.
I'll give a
roll
look around,
faster.
but
Also nat 20!
Yes!
We find everything!
Nil is gonna
I got a
have the
17.
most cursed books. I didn't find anything.
I see.
I'm not even rolling.
Don't
She's
make
so
me
excited.
re-roll
I see-
to fish for a 20.
I
Alright.
see Drevin like starting
don't
to
worry,
look,
I got it.
and I'm like,
you see his
Wait.
knuckles tighten on the haft of his maul. All right, so you start canvassing this place. Calvin is a bit distracted with sport.
trying to get the cat over. Here's Sport. Come on.
Mocker is probably still
Playing
trying
with the
to
bones.
get his sense of smell back and seeing if you have any nose hairs left. So Corwin, we'll start with Corwin. You are going to be kind of looking along one side of the altar, and you see there's a small compartment which has been the destruction of the altar has kind
caved
of
in.
popped it open a little bit. And reaching inside, you can see that there is a what appears to be a scroll case.
Kind of pull it out and check what's inside.
You'll open the scroll case, and two things will pop up. One is a scroll, which appears to be rolled around some kind of dowel. But unfurling the scroll, you find not, treatise on ancient gods written in indecipherable text. You find a scroll written in indecipherable text, but it's of magic glyphs and whatnot. So this actually appears to be a scroll of some type of spell. The stick it's rolled around is also, it is not just some plain dowel. It is also intricately carved, and not with religious runes of any sort, but these appear to be, let's see here, no one speaks Aklo, right?
Not
Nope.
Aklo. I do
think we
speak
went over
Necro.
You tried to fish for that last
I
time
did
and
try
you
to fish for
failed.
that last time, that's right.
Don't worry, I'll be taking it soon.
Well, if you want to give me a society check to decipher writing, you
I could
can.
definitely do that. I'm pretty good at those. That's going to be 20 total.
20 total.
Plus 8.
So you're not too terribly familiar with Aklo, but you're familiar enough to recognize the script. And you know enough about Aklo to understand that Aklo is very old. Aklo, so most languages, you will have a sentence structure and you'll have a vocabulary that will reference things that you encounter a lot. And sort of like, the Eskimos have something like 20,000 words for snow and no words for something I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It's not an accurate statement anyway. It's not true. But the thought applies here. Aklo does not have cultural connotations. Aklo is entirely revolving around hierarchy. So when you say something in Aklo, you are stating that something exists by virtue of its connection to something greater. And so looking at the hierarchy as it goes down, that's rolling down this wand, it refers to the best you can make out is it's something along the lines of undoing consequence or possibly stepping back to the past. That's the best you can puzzle out about what is written on this wand.
Just kind of take a look over it and, well, ain't sure what's. I certainly can't use these, but hey, Calvin.
Yeah.
I found some paper I think might be of your interest. It ain't exactly in a language I can read, but it looks like magic.
Man, I could read anything.
I think this. I mean, I could probably figure out what's on this one, but it says something about undoing consequence. I mean, that sounds like it either fixes something or fixes someone, maybe.
I'm in. Let me see it.
Bring them on over.
Depending on what it says, I might need that.
Hides it in
It don't seem dangerous. It seems like something they were trying to hide, like it ain't one of theirs.
But I'm not going to, like, out of my way to take it or anything. Literally, depending on what it says.
Yeah.
I can't read it, but I do have Arcana and Identify.
Okay, yeah, so you can start working on trying to puzzle out what that is. The scroll that you have as well, similar types of runes are kind of going over it, but it's not so much an instruction sheet, it's worked in with the spellcraft, so this one's a bit harder for you to figure out.
I'll take a look at it.
You can, yeah. You can kind of, all of you kind of puzzle around the scroll, and while they're distracted, Nil sort of
The look on your face is so mischievous.
Nil will kind of side along back to the other corner where she's kind of looking around.
Very nonchalant.
Yeah, very nonchalantly.
Whistling and everything.
And you can see a what looks almost like a locker, but it's sort of carved into the stonework. It's actually a box. It's painted to look like the rest of the stonework, so it's very easy to overlook. But kind of looking at it, you're able to sort of pop it open, and you can find a rolled up scroll as well. This isn't on parchment or vellum. This is
Is it on skin?
It is not. I'm sorry. Terribly sorry. It's not.
So excited.
Yum, yum, yum. Okay.
It's actually written on flattened and woven reeds.
Okay.
So if the reeds would be flattened out, usually by being repeatedly pounded with stones
Violence.
to
So,
flatten things out.
Nature, I like
And
it.
the
Plant skin, I
strips
like.
of reeds are sort of almost crushed together and then woven to form a scroll, which is, or a writing surface, which is very easy to roll up in one direction, but very resistant to being folded in another. Almost like like you ever seen those like blinds that are rolled up with bamboo or something like that. Similar type of construction.
Tatami mat.
It can only go hot dog style, not hamburger style.
Yeah,
It's literally like a tatami mat. You
not
can
really.
roll it up, you can't fold it.
Yeah, I guess you could think of it that way. Yeah, that's about right. And there is writing on this, which you would recognize as not magical in nature. Again, written in this
heretical.
odd language, but definitely something that you're pretty sure Drevin would not want to see.
Well, just in case, I'll just put it in my bag. And I like shuffle some of like the more slimy objects. There's like kind of part of an intestine. I'll just like kind of shuffle that to the side and like you put a little bit of leather in between them, make sure it doesn't
Nil
get
doesn't
wet.
keep them in jars. Just random.
Just
into the
literally
bag.
piled in there.
It just goes in your inventory. It just takes up a space.
I'm sorry, inventory. Do you mean ecosystem?
It's
I just-
New
it's a
stuff
little
growing there all
terrarium.
the time.
You know how
There's
most
like a
bags
thing-
open, you just hear that like click of the clasp. You open that one, just
Yeah, it's like you have to.
As I put it in, at least 3 or 4 bugs crawl up my arm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, 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 no. I shake my hand back.
Get back
into
in
the-
there. Kyle, I said not coming out this time. They all have names.
But while this is happening, why don't you go ahead and give me a check to identify
Sure.
magic?
Could I
Arcana
assist?
or...
You can use Arcana or Occultism if you want.
Actually, they're the same, so it doesn't really matter. You pick.
can I assist him? Because I'm also good at these.
Yeah, actually, this is going to be. I'm sorry, I am changing my mind. It's going to be a. It's actually nature for the wand.
I'm also pretty good at that. I can help
Yikes. I am bad at that.
You
I
can assist.
You can assist me.
All right, I'm going to assist him.
Yep.
Ready? You roll first. DC 20.
Okay, I did not assist. That's
you
a
get-
10.
That's a 10 total.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it worse.
That does make
does
it
make it
worse.
worse.
Oh, yeah, it's
actually.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 would make it not worse.
See, I read about this stuff in this other book I read. It's
Try to-
yeah.
Yeah,
Check it out. I got a pamphlet.
You're
Well,
not good at this,
no,
but the scroll you
10
can
doesn't
use
make it worse.
Occultism on.
It does. The DC is 20. 10 below is a crit fail.
Oh yeah, because it is 10.
Because
yes.
yeah, that's how math works.
Shh.
It's fine.
Math
You
is
can
hard.
roll it.
The
You can still
scroll.
you can still get it fine. It's fine.
No, you were describing the scroll for him.
Oh.
The scroll is something that you can use occultism for.
All right.
Okay. I will try on the wand.
Yep.
Are these? No, because this is item identification, right?
Mhm.
This is a secret check.
Oh yeah, I gotta lie to you.
Mine is a +7.
Your D20 is going to be so like worn down by the end of this campaign.
One of those already is.
Just why?
You
worry.
are turning this wand over in your hands, and you're just spinning it around, and you just keep coming back to the beginning. And you know, maybe you're missing something that's super obvious, but you cannot figure out what this wand is for.
I ain't quite sure, but you know, the way you two were looking, whatever that light was going on, we might want to go stop back and see Rin. She might
What's-
know a better idea what this is.
What is your
Cultism and Arcana are both 8.
both 8?
I can assist if you want.
Yeah. Nobody likes you.
Reading over this.
Oh no, it's reading. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reading over the scroll, again, you're trying to kind of piece together where this magic comes together, but it seems to elude you.
Is it in that same? It's that same language that we were talking about earlier.
It's that Oclo is
No,
very
no,
common
no.
in it. One thing, however, that does happen that seems quite positive is while you're taking this rest and kind of taking some time to look over it to you, your doomed value goes down by 1. So you're down to doomed 1, the both of you.
It's like I got a full night's rest off.
Yeah, there you go.
Suddenly.
Incidentally, you weren't able to really properly prepare yourselves while you were floating in orange light, being your souls not nibbled away. But you are able to get your spell slots back, having come out of this ordeal and finally having a chance to rest.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
Mocker would like to go over to the downed guys who were the skeletons that didn't come to life.
There's only one, and Drevin threw it out the window.
Yeah, he
It's
did
not
throw it out
far.
the
Like
window.
you can still see it, but
It
it's
is out the
definitely
window,
outside.
I would like to go look at it.
You peer over. Let's remember that this is kind of on a raise.
Yep.
It is out the window, down a drop, in the moat.
It's in mode. Okay.
You
But
can
there
see
is
it.
one that is still there
Still
that's
there,
kind of a
that's-
little bit mashed up.
That's fine. I want to go take a look at it to see if I can figure out anything about it for before it got possessed.
Sure. Let's see here. What is your... Well, let's see. I'll let you use religion if you're going to try to remember what you know about the cult. I'll let you use society if you want to try to analyze the robes. I'll let you use anything else, really, if you pitch me something, if you tell me what you're looking for.
I'm guessing it has absolutely nothing to do with the Rose Guard, so it could be considered esoterica, but I don't know if you'll let me use it.
Yeah,
but my
esoterica is going to get you very, very
my
marginally
religion's plus
related
4.
stuff. Your what's plus
My
4?
religion's plus 4. I'm
Okay.
trained.
Yeah, sure.
Because the nice thing about thaumaturges is we're trained in all of the magical traditions.
All right. So you're
The
looking
wonderful
at
thing about Tiggers.
Is Tiggers are wonderful things.
you're looking at this, and as you look, your head starts to pound. You're looking at the back of this robe, and you're examining these. You're examining these kind of holes that have been sewn into it, and one of the holes just seems to glow in your light, almost drawing you into it. You almost like stumble. You kind of experience a brief bout of vertigo, which kind of comes over you as you're staring at this, and you kind of shake your head and look away, and you can almost hear a sibilant whisper roll through your ears, and your head's just swims. You're trying to pull facts and remember things, and you kind of find yourself kind of mouthing up a chant under your breath that isn't in a language you speak, but seems to, you feel almost certain that this is a chant related to this religion. This may be a chant of this cult. It could be a chant of Nimbleoth. It could be something in referring to this. You gain an insight, and you're not entirely sure what it means. But you certainly don't have anything that you can articulate as far as what you learned.
Najee, you'll will get the sense that something has gone awry in his head, and will actually kind of pop in and kind of glow. And not just glow like in his hand, but almost within him. And he'll feel himself recover a little bit internally.
There you
And
go.
Najee will go ahead and heal him, but also try to bring him back to himself by doing it.
Sure. Go ahead and roll that healing from your restorative familiar.
It's 3 points of health, which will restore me to full.
Oh, nice. And your you still, your body is healed, but however this leaked into your brain, that doesn't seem to really be there. You feel like you've figured something out, but maybe it wasn't you who learned it. Maybe you feel as though something told it to you, but you only sort of half remember it. You have an insight. Just write down that you have an insight.
Got it.
And that will probably have something to do with something later.
So while we're doing all of our
Secret, tell
10-minute identifies and everything,
Yeah.
I'm just going to lay on hands and then refocus.
Perfect.
So now I've got the Eye of Sauron and the insight of Nyarlathotep. Noted.
And I will.
Nyarlathotep, no peace.
I will kind of searching. Walk up to a mocker. Did you get anything from your exploration? I noticed that you guys seem to have moved more than we have in our orange.
Mocker will go into his bag and he'll take out a separate little pouch. This is for you, actually. Oh, hello. It's the fang of a Scalathrax with some of the spider oil, as well as little pieces of the mitflits, little wings, mitflit wings.
I think they got
Ears.
wings. They got ears.
They do now.
Ears.
They might as well be wings for how big they are.
And she has some of the blood from the blood mist vampire that he's secured on a piece of cloth. And whatever this was.
This
I'd be real
Brilliant.
careful with that.
This is excellent. Oh, brilliant. And I will collect all of these up and like hoard them up. I'll take the spider oil. What was the spider oil?
And some fang. And
Spider
the
oil.
Scalathrax
Normal.
oil and
Quite
the fang.
literally.
There was a weird spider covered in oil.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool.
And the oil was
Um,
flammable. It was flammable, my dear.
It is flammable. It's real valuable as like an alchemical additive.
We could sell
You-
this for a lot of gold.
You can burn
No.
it just like lamp oil, but it's worth a lot more than that.
No.
No, it's valuable. It's valuable to us.
So,
Okay, sweet, excellent, great
and
news.
the fang is for you.
Oh, thank you. Wait, all of it is for me.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna just in the future, if you're gonna take something of the lady of this place, maybe let us know.
Wait.
We don't know that it's from them.
Oh, it wasn't. No. This was after it. This was just from the normal blood mist vampire after the spirit had already left.
Yeah, that was the same blood that went from the floor up to the ceiling and made that
Are
thing.
we saying that this blood is from the lady?
I don't.
From
I ain't saying her
OG?
name.
Is that what we're saying?
I'm saying burn it.
We're gonna call it BC.
Wow!
The blood
No.
came from a haunting evil.
Look,
I don't know if it's her blood.
when you got yanked
Mill's eyes
away,
have gotten so wide.
look, when you got yanked away, dealing with the slurk, that thing pulled you up. We saw it take you over this direction, but we couldn't find you. We did find the lighthouse itself, though.
Right.
Open up the door, the thing's in pristine condition. Clearly got some magic going on there. We found some kind of spirit or haunting of the lady of the lighthouse herself, sucking the blood out of Drevin and my cousin here. And thankfully we got rid of the dang thing, praying it out and banishing it back, but the blood itself rushed up through the ceiling. Got up there, found a real weird looking door. Well, it was a wheel. He pulls out the bronze key. I ain't ever seen a lock like this, and it's a big, like, multi-sectioned round key that has multiple pins going different directions. we got up there, because the blood done, like, floated up through the ceiling. Open the thing up, lights go all blood red, and this weird misty thing comes out of nowhere. Burned it to all hell, and then, well, before we could end up finding y'all, big old flash of light burst out of the graveyard from here, and a bunch of undead rose up. Had to run over there,
And the
all
spider.
the way back. Well, that was
Scalathrax.
after we
Scalathrax.
dealt with what, 6,
They
7
sound
zombies and undead.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then this thing just teleports out when another blast comes by.
For
So-
those
This
listening at
is
home, you really should be
excellent.
watching Bryn's
Yeah.
reactions to this whole thing.
This
The only
is
thing-
brilliant.
The only thing amazing about undead appearing in the graveyard is that the Church of Sarenrae was right there for them to fall upon and die.
Yeah, they just kind of wandered off the
Exactly.
cliff. I don't think she was raising up the smart ones.
Well, she didn't need to. So you're saying this is all excellent. Okay, perfect. I'm going to take the blood. Yes, don't worry, we'll be very careful.
Just don't eat it.
I
I
don't even
would
think we should
never
that
be
is
so disrespectful.
Look, if her spirit's still haunted, I'm less afraid about her eating it or anything, and I'm more afraid about her being able to watch us through it.
I don't think
There was
that.
And the
literally
government's always
a ghost
listening
Do
in
anyway.
you
blood.
think she'd be able
Government's
to
always
do
listening
that?
anyway. That's why he can't
I don't
carry
know
this
what
stuff
she can
around.
and can't do. She killed the dang near
Well,
half
then
the
I'll
Rose
take it out
Guard.
of my jacket because that's a little awkward.
You gotta put it in one of them jars, and then you gotta cover it in a bunch of metal, and then because it's messing with your brainwaves, man.
Okay.
All right, we'll
I'll
put it in the jar,
then
and we'll
cover
put
the jar
some
with
rocks
metal.
in it.
Whoa, gentle.
No, this is amethyst. It's purified.
Oh, okay. And
How'd
then
you get enough amethyst to fill a jar?
Not enough, just a little bit.
By
You don't-
spending supply, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
Look, that's worth like 200 gold if it's that much gemstone.
It's not that worth 200 gold. It's,
It's
like the,
it's the fake amethyst
It's
you
the
buy at the
purple
painted quartz.
yeah, it's the amethyst that you get if it's kind of like buy a pan of dirt and pan it, and oh,
Yup.
isn't that fun? You got an amethyst. It's that kind of amethyst.
To be fair,
Cleanse
that
your
is fun.
chakras, man.
That is fun.
I do
Going
like
in
doing
pans.
that. It's actually pretty fun.
100%
They're neat.
fun. Fun for all ages,
All right.
but
So
especially old people.
I suppose we should go find out whatever else is going on here.
Give me 1 second, and he's just gonna pull out a notebook of his, just a little old journal, and he's just gonna step back and start sketching, very not like accurately, but in lumberjack, like hobo sign essentially, the mural that they see, like 4-pointed star, circles going up, arrows up, and a weird like
Didn't we
Sure.
smash that?
part of
Two
it.
of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there's 2 other stained glass windows which show like, souls being ripped out of the ground and pulled up to this.
Oh, they
4-pointed
also
star.
they all showed the same thing. It's not one giant.
So it's sort of like you have 4 windows that are the souls being pulled up and moving upward, and then there's a separate crowning window that's a little round one. That's the 4-pointed star.
got it.
You saw it when they were together, so we just put
I'm
it together.
taking mental note of all of this to report back later for Sarenite deconstruction.
Yep.
I'm mostly getting this just because, like, look, the Serenites might know something, as Drevin's saying. They seem to know a lot about whatever this is. They probably ain't going to tell us much, but Rin might know something too.
Let's see if we
That
can.
caravan's got weird stuff.
Let's see if we can follow this back.
So the psychometric resonances in here are particularly strong by the entrance where the corpse of the adventurer was. You sense surprise and pain and terror. And
Makes sense.
yeah,
Makes
that's
sense. That makes
kind
sense.
of par for the course for getting jumped by possessed corpses and murdered.
No one expects corpse light.
Yeah, exactly. The sense that you get in everywhere else is very muted, implying that happened a long time ago, and it's more of a quiet reverence. This chapel was purpose-built as a part of Gauntlight and consecrated, if it can be called that, in the service of this Nimbaloth creature. But there isn't anything that really sets your psychometric resonances off.
Let's get out of here. We have a lot left to do.
We got those boys from Yin to find, but I ain't seen sign head nor hair of them up here, and they sure as heck ain't these fellas.
Well, we know there's down now. We can go down.
There's also still out.
Yeah, there's the other building over there.
Speaking of down, when you try to poke your head back into the office, apparently the settling of that level that created another cave-in, there is a bunch of debris that has fallen into that stairwell. It could probably be cleared with some good tools, strong backs, and a day of work, but at the moment, it's inaccessible.
If you two are feeling up for it, we can look a little further, but
All right.
I ain't gonna blame you if you need a sec to catch your breath and whatnot.
No, I was actually just recreating a new. It'll be like a little. There's like a couple legs coming out of it. Like next one to try, and I'll be like
It's an awful
the
berry.
one. Yeah, the one with that.
It looks like a spider.
Well, there's not that many legs. And I'll.
That's somehow more concerning.
Only 7.
Now that's scary.
And then I'll like I'll have been keeping watch on Mocker to see if there's any reverse side effects to these things. But so far so good, guys. So far so good.
While all these guys are doing their things, I am copying the scroll into my spell book. Even though I don't read it, I'm just like drawing the symbols in there. I'll figure it out later.
Yeah, you can take notes, and you can just take the scroll with you, obviously.
Yeah.
He's just
but
giving it to you 'cause I
it's
can't
not
use
going to
it.
copy it into your book. You don't even know if this is the arcane tradition. Like,
That's fine.
it's, yeah.
I'll figure it out later. He's writing into a spell book. That meanwhile, while I'm doing that, Spork has manual dexterity as one of their feats.
No.
And Spork is braiding and combing out Calbum's beard because it was so frazzled from the experience he just had. But now it is nice and beautifully silky and beard and braided
it
expertly by
basically
Spork.
took like 3 times as long to actually copy any notes because the cat keeps like holding your hand
Right,
and
right,
moving
right.
it down.
Sitting on the
and
spell
then, like
book.
licking your beard
Yeah.
over and over and over in
Yep.
the same spot.
Did you ever figure out what that wand does?
No, it's a weird. I mean, it's in Aklo, as far as I can tell. I think something. I think it fixes something, but I don't know what it does or even how to turn it on. Like, I can't use magic. I mean, maybe Cousin can figure it out or Calvin can, but we ain't got real time to be doing that here. Unless
Yeah, let's tuck it away and.
you doing all right, by the way? You need any? I got some bandages and
No.
whatnot.
No, I'm fine. Najee took care of me.
All right,
He looks in perfectly good health.
just making sure. I saw you kind of talking to yourself over there. And,
I'm always talking to myself.
That is how it works. That is.
well, it's hard to tell if she's talking to the sword all the time. Sometimes it's the sword, sometimes it is himself, sometimes it's the air.
What's wrong with talking to yourself?
Nothing really. It's just you never know which one's the concerning one when you do it like 3 different things.
Wouldn't they all be concerning?
Nah, the sword. I know. I mean, Cousin talks about the sword all the time, and I'm pretty sure the sword's fine. It doesn't try to. Okay, correction. It has tried to stab me before. It hasn't for a while.
Drevin.
I think he's saying it's overdue.
I'll hold the hilt of the sword.
Najee will start talking to him.
So you'll hold the sword, and it's like, yeah, excellent. I see that you're there with your big club thing. I just wanted to let you know that my cutting edge is far superior.
Go cut the stone.
No, we don't talk about the stone.
Exactly. I will hand the sword back. That one's not concerning to talk to, at least.
I mean, as far as I can tell, it ain't. I mean, besides the, it wants to stab everything.
It has plate mail, the dog, but I could get past it.
No, that's
I could guide the strike,
That is-
I'm not saying you should, but I'm just saying it's an option.
That's the pious puppy. We don't poke the pious puppy.
Of
The
all
alliteration in that sentence was beautiful.
of all the things in the world to just be like, yeah, okay, that's a thing. A talking sword is like, that's pretty average.
I mean, it's
Uncle
not like a
Larry
talking
and-
dog, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
It's not like it has words you need
Highest
to read.
puppy,
Yeah.
not just a talking dog.
Well, I mean, besides the rooms that we know we shouldn't go into, the only other place we can really go is that one
Other
outside.
You have a good view of it, actually, having just thrown a few corpses through the stained glass windows. You can see a small island set off behind the main body of Gauntlet Keep, and in fact, a plank bridge leading your way over there.
We've had such good luck with plank
Yeah,
bridges.
just gonna look at Drevin a second. Let someone lighter go across that first, just to make sure that it ain't gonna collapse.
Not it.
I can just go across from here.
Again, I don't want the bridge to collapse because
Not
some
the
of us have
bridge.
a problem getting across them.
I'll just wade through the swamp.
I wouldn't suggest that, but
Let's go.
How far is it roughly?
It's not far.
Let's just go take a look, shall
Roughly
we?
not far.
Yeah,
Are you wanting to know like if you're gonna like jump the bridge or something?
No, like from window to wade and then climb up.
So it's down a fair ways, but there is enough of a ledge you could kind of shimmy your way over to where you wouldn't have to fall like 10 feet down to the swamp, and kind of make your way over there. So it's possible just to
I
walk
mean, I could
there.
just walk around.
You can
Here.
totally just walk around, yes.
Let's
You go
just
on
do
out.
it the normal way.
I'll
Wait,
help lower a
what?
Calbum out.
No, to walk around, go down and avoid the bridge, climb up onto
Oh,
island.
like wade through the swamp to
Yeah.
avoid the bridge. Yeah, you could do that if you want to.
You're gonna be real wet.
All right.
But
wet
the
dog.
bridge will break if there's a
Oh,
300-pound dog and full
The
plate on it.
smell of the wet dog.
Yep.
It's intense.
I'm more worried about like leeches.
So
and
you'll
stuff.
clamber on down, and you'll see Drevin kind of eye that bridge suspiciously, then shake his head and start sloshing his way. The water gets deep, up
I've
to
already
like
been
your
in very
chest
deep.
on this stuff, and
It's not my first
like
time.
you're sloshing it through, and you start crawling your way up, and oh my god, you're like the suction of the muck on the bottom of the swamp. You almost lose a sabaton trying to haul your feet through this, and you manage to make your way up on the other side. You have to kind of like pick some leeches off of the back of your
fur.
leg.
Cousin,
Yeah.
give me a hand here. That plate mail's real heavy.
And like pull your feet out of the mud, and you're soaked. The water's like completely soaked your gambeson. You're gonna be clumsy one until you can get this swamp water to finally drain
I don't know
out.
if you
of
got
it.
any magic to dry him off a little bit.
I didn't break the bridge.
On the broad side, while you were crossing down there, you could actually get a perfectly good view of the bridge from the underside. It actually looks to be fairly sturdy.
Good.
I don't know if it would have been sturdy with me on it, but
I'm
Sturdy
going,
enough for the not plate mail people.
I'm going to cross the bridge like normal.
It
a
holds
normal
your weight
person.
just fine.
Yeah. Figure we get to the other side and help him up from the mud.
you know how a lumber have you ever seen lumberjack competitions where they put the
Oh, yeah.
axe in the wood and then climb up on it?
Yes, I
Imagine
have.
that, but with the maul climbing up the edge of the clay side. Like,
All right. So
just
back up to the first thing you said. Imagine that, but with the maul.
Yeah, into the mud.
He's just gonna.
Yeah, so slam it into the mud and use it to climb up and then get up on top.
Okay, sure. You could do that. It's not at all how that is, actually.
Not at all, but it's a funny analogy.
It's a funny analogy.
This is Magic World. We can do that.
Exploration
It
activities.
works because I says it.
Let's talk about exploration activities. Yes, indeed.
Mudding.
Money? Okay, you're looking for
Mudding.
money. Oh, muddy.
Mudding. It's
Mudding.
Mudding.
Like the activity.
Seeking,
Just looking for catfish.
keeping some eyes out for doorways and.
I will
things.
actually be spending my time just kind of getting the mud out of my boots. Sloshing.
Slosh. Okay.
As normal, he's going to be detecting magic across this bridge.
Very good.
Searching.
Searching.
Recalling knowledge.
Recalling knowledge. So you will be moving your way through this bridge. You're moving over to the small island where there's a small building set up. It's not nearly as grand as the keep, and it's an outbuilding here, so it wouldn't even really be protected by the defenses of the keep. However, behind this island that the building is built on, it's pure swamp. It's no one would expect an attack of any sort to come from this side.
That's how they get you.
It's just like
That's exactly right.
yeah, exactly. The building is relatively small, just kind of perched out here. You're not really sure, if it goes down or anything like that to the lower levels. Perhaps it would, but you do see a small pier off to the side where a boat, looks like a rowboat, has been moored and pulled up there. Which
Fresh boat?
looks fairly a fresh boat. It's floating in the swamp water. It looks like it's been here for, at least fairly recently, not centuries old.
I didn't see anyone else
Hello?
coming out this way.
Can we look for footprints? Isn't that kind of the cool thing to do?
Yeah, you seekers, give me a check.
That's a nat one. I
Nope.
don't have a hero point.
You
I'm
do not
searching.
see any footprints whatsoever.
He's
I'm
busy looking at the
searching,
boat.
so-
You're searching.
Yeah.
What's the difference between searching and seeking? Do I
I
have-
They're-
just get a
it's the
plus
same
one.
thing.
Oh, I thought I got a plus
Scouting.
one.
Scouting.
Scouting is
Oh,
looking for
Scouting
enemies.
is like looking for people
That's the
getting
plus
ready to
one to
jump you.
initiative.
Is that what you
Okay.
intended to do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You don't see that, but getting over to the boat, you don't have to really make a roll to see what's in the boat.
That's
Um,
odd.
There's a bag. It's like a pack really, but it's oiled and waterproofed, just sitting there. Also on the inside of the boat is a brand that's been put into the side of the wood of a familiar looking bird. This brand marks the boat as property of the Osprey Club. Apparently this would be the club of gamblers, rowdy people, and potential
Perfectly
ne'er-do-wells.
upstanding businessman.
Yeah, exactly.
I literally thought you were gonna say bird watching, and I was like, oh, convenient. That's so nice. They're just here for
They're
bird
bird
watching.
watchers. Yeah.
If
They might
only
do
they
that at
were
some point.
That's
just.
what they want you
They
to
might
think.
say that.
If only they were just bird watchers.
But it appears that this was the boat that Yinyasmera's goons, for lack of a better word, took to come out to Gauntlight. They approached through the swamp, it seems.
Well,
I'm gonna guess whatever got him's in the shed.
he's gonna lean over, grab the bag, set it in the pack. This ain't ours, and if I take it, she's gonna be mad. If I don't bring it back, she's also gonna be mad.
The bag it feels like there's something in it.
It's kind of.
Is it a cat?
They'll take it and open it and take and see what's in it, but
Actually, it is a bag of fish cakes that were baked and made at the Crook's Nook. This is a common snack that they put together. And it's a way of sort of preserving fish meat by baking it into a pastry that you can take with you. They're actually supposed to be pretty decent.
are they still like
They're still
good?
Yep. It looks like this.
They only went missing like a couple days ago.
It's only
right?
been a couple days. They've been kept in a relatively waterproof case. It's been sealed up so none of the swamp lives have gotten at it. And you cook a pastry, it's good for a decent amount of time, which is the
kinda-
whole reason people did it.
Just kind of shake it a bit and just, well, we can get to these if we want them, but they're kind of better warm.
I'll take one.
I will also take a fish
They're not
cake.
bad.
I just want to get whatever it was, the
Put
snail stuff
entire
out of
cake
my
in
mouth.
Chomp down on it. It has a pleasant fishy taste.
Nice.
It's like a mini Oreo to you.
I have a bite attack. It's not. It's like a mini Oreo. It's gone.
Just jaws.
All right. We should
drop it.
be careful.
I'll
Like
be
any
watching.
dog, it's impossible to eat something that
They've
requires
been here.
chewing without making a mess.
They've been here for a couple of days at least, so we're probably going to save these in case we find them. I mean, if they're still alive, they're probably hungry because they left their food behind.
We should be careful going in there. Drevin, you and I up front.
Same as always.
Let's go.
You'll push your way into the building. The building appears to be you might call it like a servant's annex or something like that. Looking around, you can see
The hovel.
No, it's actually it's well built. It's well built. It's not a hovel. It's first off, the place is wrecked. It looks like this place has been tossed numerous times over the years.
It's like there were ruin dwellers trying to find treasure.
It's
in
like
here.
there are ruin delvers that decided to go turn this place upside down and try to figure out a way. So looking through here, you can there's bookcases that are broken. You find a side closet that has some lumber stock, which is long since swelled up with moisture, and some tools that you could use to effect repairs. You'll see what look like couches and chairs and tables where servants could come relax and wait until they need to be called on.
The important thing is how many unbroken jars are in this room.
Not a single one.
Dang.
You can find
no.
plenty of broken jars.
What about the
or
tops?
Some
We just need the
sort of
tops. It's like,
Just the
it's like
tops?
Tupperware. We're going to have a bunch of tops and a bunch of bottoms. None of them fit together.
Well, you see, what actually happened was there's this weird fellow with a real green cloak to him. They just came in here and destroyed them all.
Oh, right. It's a Zelda thing. I get it.
yeah.
It actually literally took me that long to figure it out.
I was thinking about
I
it's like,
had no
what the
idea.
heck is
What?
he talking about?
Yeah, all right. I got it.
I thought it was a conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
You do
it is now.
look through there is a small hallway that bends and turns, and one thing that strikes you on this hallway is there are a set of paintings that are hanging on the walls, and these are not like small paintings. These are big, way too big a painting, honestly, for the hallway that they were sat in. Whoever hung them here had no sense of how to present art. But there are, just kind of moving your way around and looking at these paintings, you can see that the first thing that you find is a massive cityscape, which is unmistakably Absalom. Any of you who have remotely even know what Absalom looks like with the crowning citadel fortress, the walls,
Well,
the
three
districts.
of us did just see it.
Oh, that's true. The three of you were
Yeah,
on top
we were
of the
literally
lighthouse
just
and
there.
could literally see it. Unmistakably Absalom. The city is on fire, and you can see the tortured spirits of the dead rising up from the streets. It is a scene of absolute chaos and destruction. To make it even more over the top, there is a plaque on the frame of this painting. Big, broad letters, "So shall the fools suffer." Big statement on this thing. Whoever put this painting up and painted it and commissioned it or whatever and hung it, clearly a very well-balanced person with a neutral opinion of the city of Absalom.
I wonder who did this.
Wonder who did that.
Is it? Never mind. I don't need to know that. It's fine.
Okay.
Carry on.
I'm a little curious, but that's fine.
The next painting isn't quite so broad, but still a landscape painting, and it appears to be a painting of Gauntlight Keep in its glory days, before it fell into ruin over centuries and before its lady was slain by a group of heroic adventurers. The Gauntlight peers with this blue light echoing and radiating away from it, stately but undeniably menacing in the twilight of the swamp that it was painted in. In the light of the lighthouse, some leering faces have been skillfully worked into the design. This also has a plaque at the bottom that says "Her Will Eternal." Not entirely clear who the her is in that statement, but could be a few things.
I think we have a pretty good guess.
Pretty good guess. You probably have a pretty good guess. Moving along is another painting. This one is particularly different, mainly because it appears to have been mostly destroyed. The frame itself has "The Loyal Artist at Work" as its caption. But looking up, you can see what appears to be a work table over on the right side with tools of working of some sort. You can see glass torches and what appear to be lenses, but the rest of the entire painting has been completely destroyed. Like someone took either a knife to it or almost claws went and ripped this entire section of the painting out. It has been destroyed. There's no telling what was on that section of the frame.
And the other two are like fine.
The other two are fine.
Well, that's a very violent emotion. Anything connected to it?
Disgust and loathing. Self-loathing. Disgust and self-loathing hangs over this painting almost like a haze. You can almost smell it. It's palpable. You can feel that emotion press in on you.
Any image in my head of who might have commissioned it?
Commissioned it or destroyed it?
Destroyed it.
Is an excellent question. Destroyed it. You don't have an image in your head, or at least nothing that's really solid. It's more of a form. You can't make out any features whatsoever of it.
Okay.
When you say, sorry, carry on.
I was going to do, there's one more painting I was going to describe, but if you had a question about this particular painting.
Carry on.
No? Okay. There's one last painting, which we actually have art of because it is actually included in the book.
Is this one just like sunshine and rainbows and everybody's having a good time?
A couple
Probably,
of Care
yeah.
Bears bouncing around.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, I hate that.
If ever there was a face for a Disney villain, it would be this lovely person. Unsurprisingly, who the heck this is? There's no name attached to it.
Looks like her voice would be deeper than mine.
Well, how you doing, dear?
Smoker for 30
Smoker
years.
for 30 years,
Yeah.
exactly. Doesn't she look like she smoked way too many cigarettes?
Look, I get my deliveries out back.
The caption under this is "The Lady of the Light." Unmistakably, those of you who were in which is basically everyone but Nil, who was in the ground floor of Gauntlight and saw that form raise up to suck the blood out of your bodies and spray you with necromantic light. This is unmistakably Belcora.
My arch nemesis.
Yeah, this is a portrait of Belcora. It is also perfectly intact. However, there is runes and sigils scratched into the stone wall directly underneath the portrait. And It is, again, it's Aklo. Any of you who want to give me a society check to try to decipher writing can do so.
I wish I could.
Yeah, I can.
I was just rating.
That's a natural 20 on the die
Oh
plus
my
8.
gosh.
Holy crap.
We roll natural 20s
no.
for important stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
only
like
10
I
on my
spend
end.
my rerolls on only the most important
Keep
stuff.
my soul from being sucked out of my body. Mm-mm.
I've done a lot
Yeah,
of reading.
Decipher some
yeah, I
graffiti.
I've done a lot of reading. I've also just spent 10 minutes or so like copying Aklo into my spellbook for no
You
particular
have,
reason.
actually. And so this is actually fairly easy for you to put together. You look at it, and it is, again, Aklo revolves around hierarchies. And the first phrase of this is a reinforcement of a pre-existing hierarchy. And the second is a promise to extend that hierarchy's relationship into a stronger context. So if you were to kind of translate this is I still serve you, you shall be avenged, would be how you would put that together.
And this looks so. The question I was going to ask is: the paintings that are good is it indeterminate age, or do they look really old but preserved somehow?
They look very old and lucky to have not had the roof collapse in this place, which would have exposed them to the elements.
Right.
They have been shielded from the elements, and that's basically why they're in okay condition. They are oil paintings, which are pretty resistant. At least the pigment itself is fairly resistant to minor atmospheric and weather changes. Even the humid environment, it holds up pretty well. The frames themselves, as opposed to being painted wood, which you'd normally expect, are actually wrought brass and have held up quite well, having not been exposed directly to the elements.
And these carvings on the wall here, do they look newer, older, or the same age as the paintings? Can I tell?
That is hard to tell. It was scraped into the wall with what appears to be either the most ragged chisel you've ever seen, or
Probably
again
after.
a claw of
Nails.
some sort has scraped this message into the stone. It's not like these are been dug into the stone either. These are shallow scrapes, but it's marred enough that the words are there. You could probably buff this writing out, honestly, if you had a mind to do so. That being said, as far as the age of them, not recent, but you can't place it any more than
You
that.
see, all right, so this here is basically a shield of the man. Well, the woman, I guess, is what you call her. She's the man, but this is one of her puppets or so. And he's saying, like, or maybe they, I don't know. The person who wrote this is saying that they're gonna like avenge and they're gonna like get all weird and like keep her mission up because they're just like a shield for the government, man. That's what's happening. She's like the government in this scenario is
Wait.
what I'm trying to describe to you. And so the writings on the wall are from I don't know, somebody who worked with this.
Following of Bellacora.
Yeah, that's her.
If I had to take a guess, I mean, destroyed second painting of the artist and then this. Pretty dedicated. If that's the
Wait.
case, it's probably the artist that carved them in.
Perhaps.
Mocker, are you telling me that this is Belle Cora?
Don't give her a nickname.
Is there any reason we shouldn't burn this picture?
Well,
Beautiful.
Well, it's together.
for
I'm
historical
gonna guess
reasons,
at least this one is resistant to it.
it wouldn't surprise me.
Seems in
she
good
was,
fire.
Well, it seems good enough condition that it ain't deteriorated, so
she was very obsessed with her
bosom.
own image.
You could like lay your head.
Dear,
This is
perhaps we
beautiful.
should move on before you get any more
yeah, you
emotional.
can lay your head down on there while she stabs you in the throat.
You could.
An option, says Nil.
Whenever we're done here, I'm taking this photo back to be disposed of.
We, for sure, we can take it back.
Throw it in the swamp.
Right in the, there's a tree next to my house.
Saren Ray purifies everything with fire.
How big are these paintings?
The painting of Belcora is sizable, but manageable. If you were to go try to take, like, the Absalom landscape down, it would take at least two of you, and it would be tricky. You'd have to do math that no one's been able to prove yet to get it through the door.
Is the how the hell did it get in here then? Are the do
Before
the
they put
frames
the
Paintings
roof
came in before the ceiling.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You can't prove it, I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
Did the are the brass? Is it like a solid brass frame, or is that brass acquirable?
I mean, like, could you disassemble the frame with tools, for example? If
No, I want to disassemble it with my hands, but
Oh, with your hands. It looks
like, does it just like click together, or is it?
Is it
this was built?
gilding?
It's not
or is
like
it pure?
clicked together. It's brass, so gilding isn't applicable. But
We can worry about
it looks like it was wrought in sections and then it was bolted together with like small rivets. I mean, your hands probably not. Minor tools, you could probably pop this out of the frame and pop it apart with a decent enough crafting check and not damage
I
anything.
guess
I
brass
don't
isn't
like
that
looking
expensive.
at her. Let's keep going.
But she's like
That's
an
what's nice about
icon.
brass. Right.
She's like, how far she got in her life.
Yeah.
It's really impressive, guys.
She
It's motivating. I feel I could be just like her.
Look, I've spent
Cool. So you want us to kill you?
Yeah, that's not something you should aspire to.
Look, I've spent most of my life, at least my formative life, hearing about her and her adventures or misadventures, as it were. If you want stories, Neil, I'm happy to share.
I have heard many stories, and I'm not saying I have to do all the things that she has done, but the accomplishments, the sheer weight of the mark she left on history, it's
You want to
astounding.
achieve something.
Yes.
Don't follow in her footsteps, and I'm happy to help you get there.
Well, I'm not saying I have to achieve the same things that she achieved, but what she did manage to achieve is really phenomenal for a woman of back. I mean, that was ages ago when she really set them on their feet.
Yeah.
Certainly, the image on the painting would certainly appear as though she would agree with your praise. The image itself is almost like, I am great, and I dare you to say otherwise.
Mocker looks henpecked.
Yeah.
Corwin has, without even realizing it, pulled an alchemical fire out of his pack. It is
He's
in
like
his
ready to
hand,
go.
just staring at it.
Turn it over, yeah.
We'll
keep
dispose
going.
of it properly later.
You'll keep
Burning it
going
here is dangerous.
and move your way down the hallway, and you come to a closed door, which is easy enough to kind of shoulder open. But as you shoulder it open, the first thing that comes is debris and the crunch of broken glass. You have to literally shoulder yourself into this to force it open.
All those jars.
And this room is significantly bigger, and the bigger rooms, there's less support on the roof. The roof collapses over the centuries. The painting hallway was spared it because of how narrow it was. This room is bigger. Looking into this room as you kind of force your way inside, the first thing you notice is that the ground is very uneven. The roof has collapsed. There's debris everywhere, not to mention lots of glass shards. You have to move very carefully to keep your footing in here as you very carefully pick your way around these, some cases, absurdly large shards of glass. The room appeared to be a workshop at some point. And in fact, those of you who are particularly keen in your observations, Corwin especially, would notice that a workbench along one wall is likely the same workbench that was in the painting of the loyal artist at work, the only part of that painting that was still visible. Of course, in much worse state right now.
Just kind of gesture to like a point in the room. It's painted from right there.
You guys who
Angle on the workbench.
Yep. Moving your way into the room to look around. This was clearly a workshop where various types of lenses were produced. And in fact, on the far side of the room, there is a display case of glass and brass. And inside that display case is a gorgeous telescope. Spyglass type telescope,
wow.
not like astronomy's telescope.
Don't-
But this
don't
is
touch it.
something that is jewel encrusted, beautifully crafted. The lens of the telescope that you can see is polished perfectly. This is not the age where you have factory created glass, by the way. Polishing, first off, making optically clear glass is a master's talent to do. And then grinding it into lenses and polishing it perfectly, this spyglass by itself is probably worth at least a couple dozen gold pieces. And the fact that it's also likely a precision instrument, a labor of love by a master craftsman by itself would have tremendous collector's value to somebody.
Is the case like?
Yeah, how is it alive?
Yeah, how's it so nice
Still
still?
here?
Well, glass and brass keep very well, and it's been pushed against the wall, so when the ceiling caved in, it seems just by dumb luck it didn't happen to get crushed.
I'm gonna
But
take it
hasn't
out.
this-
Don't
but hasn't
well-
this
touch the
place been
case.
tracked?
Too late.
Before you're
She already
able
said
to
not.
move across the room, because I'm still describing the room,
I'm in the case. I am in there right now.
Yeah.
you
Calvin has
shrunk
jumped
down,
in.
you're this big, you're
I'm
inside the
Exactly.
case.
We are Stuart Little.
I can't catch that wisp, but I can catch myself in a spyglass case.
Put the knoll in a jar.
A bit of debris will shift, and a little kind of almost doll-looking figure will kind of pop right up, and it's gonna look like it looks like a puppet or a mannequin of a tiny little bird type of thing. It's
that's
it's
cute.
So cute.
and it's kind of moves up and kind of twists its little beaky head over to kind of regard the lot of you. And it kind of moves its little flappy wing hands up and kind of rubs its head like it's trying to like rub sleep out of its eyes. And a little kind of croaking voice will kind of ring out, and it'll go, Master Volok, is that you? Have you come back?
Yes.
No, we're not Master Volok.
Not Master Volok. And he looks around. No, it's never Master Volok. It's never Master Volok. He's never coming back.
No, I mean, I'm here. It's me. I'm here. It's me.
The
That's
beak kind of
not
turns
Master
to you
Volok.
and then like looks down and says,
Oh, is it bigger than me?
Huh?
Is it bigger than me?
It's on a table.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm a real little guy,
But
so
it
maybe.
looks up like, like it's expecting. It looks up at the height level where it would expect to see the person you're trying to impersonate. Thank you.
Yep.
Words.
You got it.
And then it kind of like bends its little beak head down to you, and then it just flaps its little wings in irritation. No. All of you bad people. And then it flaps its wings, kind of like flap, and it levitates off the table while it's flapping its wings, and it dashes across the room to attack you, which will be a mighty struggle with the fight of the legendary,
Can we keep it though?
the
Let's
legendary
keep
jar.
Mr.
Come on,
Beak.
jar. We just need one
Mr.
jar.
Beak.
It's
Mr.
Mr. Big.
Oh my god, I wanted to run this fight for so long, but it's not going to happen this episode, guys. We're going to have to come back to it
Mr. Beak.
next week.
Mr. Beak. Mr. Beak.
Mr. Beak. Mr. Beak.
Mr. Beak is for
Mr.
next week.
Beak.
Mr. Beak is for next week.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody,
We're just
for
gonna have
joining
to
us.
sit
Undeniably
here the
Good Time
entire
Network,
week.
Abomination Vaults. Feel free to check out our Patreon,
rolling?
$5 a month. Gets
No,
you
no,
access
no,
to
we're gonna
absolutely
roll till
everything
next
there.
week. Oh, okay. You
Pre-
start rolling.
Wait, he's doing the outro
I'm
stuff.
doing the outro stuff.
Start again. Patreon.
Patreon
$5 a month, get
podcast.
access to everything.
So Nick, how was your day today?
Throws dying. Join us next
Wait,
time
what were
when
you
something
saying? No.
terrible happens to Derp's character for no apparent reason, but we all know the reason.
And if you want another show, Saturdays, Strange Aeons.
Strange Aeons, Saturday.
Aeons
We
be
definitely
strange.
didn't almost have a player death last week.
Almost 2.
Player death. Character death.
TPK.
Oh no.
No,
Strange Aeons is a different kind of game,
no,
guys.
we
It's a
go.
horror.
It's
we're
the most dangerous prey.
we're
They go
very
hard.
method here. If your character dies, we do take you out back behind the studio.
If you die in the game, you die in real life.
If you die in the game. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I hope you
Look
had
at
a
the
great
lack
time.
of dedication. They're not even rolling right now.
Sorry. God.
gonna be
You're so
prepared.
weird.
All right, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.